Welcome to a special guest list episode of the Brutality Podcast. No guest this week. We were just in Los Angeles for a few days to go see the Elysia show as well as do the Garza Podcast. So in this episode, we go through all of that experience, but you'll notice we yapped for 3 hours on this one, and it was not to talk about the show and Garza Podcast for 3 hours. We had a lot of stuff go wrong during the trip, so we thought it would be entertaining to take the time to spill all that out for you guys and fill you guys in on what went down during the trip. Nonetheless, this was kind of a stream highlight, so maybe there's going to be some context missing here and there from us talking in a chat or something like that. It shouldn't for the most part, but beware. And with that, we've got Patreon if you want to support. We have some merch if you want to support. And we do these podcast recordings every single week live on Twitch. I'll have links to all that stuff down in the description. That's enough yapping from me. Enjoy this episode. Let's kind of set the stage, I guess. Before even before us even leaving, we have to kind of set the stage because this trip kind of started a week before the trip even happened, considering that we had booked this trip. We didn't have everything booked for it, but we had an Airbnb booked, we had flights booked, all this stuff. And then we find out a week before leaving that the airline, Air Canada, the airline that we were using to get to and from LA, was going on strike. And by going on strike, it meant no planes were leaving, departing, flying, anything whatsoever. And this was for a undetermined amount of time, aka basically up until the point where they reached an agreement. It was like a worker versus the workspace type of thing, working conditions, pay raise, all this kind of stuff. And I was kind of pulling my hair out while this was happening, because it was creeping closer and closer to the actual date of us leaving. And turned out that on Tuesday night, the planes started flying again. Keep in mind, we had a flight at 8 a.m. on Thursday morning. So this is like a day and a half later. And for context as well, even though the flights, we could have celebrated the fact that the flights were starting up again, that also meant that for about 5 days, the flight attendants from all over the world had been brought back home, and all the planes were not in the right place. So despite the planes being back up and running again, there were still about half the flights for a couple days that were being canceled on a daily basis. And we weren't going to find out until basically the night before, or even maybe the day of. Luckily, everything turned out fine. The flight wasn't canceled, but we did a show on the Wednesday night. We had Moke from Lorna Shore come on the show, and Yan came down here he came down here on the Wednesday night to do the show in person. So that was cool. Do you want to speak to speak on that a little bit?
I mean, first of all, I saw Enzo. So there's that. And it really seemed like he missed me somehow. Like when I just entered, he was so happy. So that was because my anxiety is so stupid that I was hoping that we still had the same connection, me and Enzo. So that happened. And then we hung out, which was cool, which was super fun. Had a blast, by the way, just hanging out with you and your wife, talking and stuff. That was so sick. I love that. Then the show, I mean, Moke has to be one of our coolest guests that we ever had. So that was super sick. Did we have a lot of time to sleep afterwards?
That is the question. How long did we sleep, Yan?
Honestly, me personally, like an idiot, I was on my phone for a while. So I think I slept total like an hour and a half, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, no kidding. Something like that.
I probably slept 2.5 tops. Yeah.
So, and when we woke up, it's so weird. You wake up, it's still super dark. It feels like, when you wake up and you think you have to wake up, and then you realize, oh no, it's in the middle of the night, I'm fine. It felt like that, except we had to wake up. That's how it felt. So then but I was happy because I was like, we're freaking going in Italy, right? That was kind of the mood. Like, I might die, but at least I'm going to Italy. That was kind of my, and then you woke up and you're like, LA, but like kind of quiet, not to wake up anyone. So I was okay, but I was so confused though. Like, like every thought that I had would take a long time to process type thing. It would be like, okay, like I probably told myself like 5 times, take your charger, put it in your bag, and then take it. When you have to repeat, like, I was just okay, you're sure. Yeah, like, it was step by step.
Yeah, we had both said all our stuff the night before, at least to do minimal effort once we got up. But yeah, that was an early, because we left my place at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah. So
grab some coffee, which will be important later on in the story.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
We'll grab some coffee, a little bit of food, drive all the way to the airport. It's about 20 minutes. So we get to the airport, and then what happens there? Yeah.
I mean, is it a coffee?
I mean, it's right there. Yeah.
China. I mean, we arrived there, park, everything is fine so far. And okay, so in the airport, there's the place before not getting searched, but like putting all your things in a tray, and then
security,
and security and stuff like that. And then, just for context, maybe I took one sip of my coffee. Maybe. Like, I'm waiting to sit down with my coffee. And the dude at security is just like, oh, you cannot cross with that. So I'm like, oh. So I move aside, start chugging my coffee, which, is probably the last thing I want to do ever. Like, just for context, I'm seeing we have like 32 people here. In case you don't know me, I talk a lot, which means that I'm usually drinking my coffee to, like, it could take hours usually. So I don't chug things. I don't chug anything. It takes me forever. I eat cold most of the time. That's me. So now I need to chug the McDonald's coffee
Still
is
hot
really
coffee.
hot. Yeah. So I'm trying to chug that. Same time, guys, I usually don't eat in the morning, but I made an exception because I was about to die due to the lack of sleep. So I have this carrot muffin that I love it so much at the McDonald's. I don't know why. I love it. I'm loving it. There we go.
There we go.
And then in my mind, I'm like, shit, I need to eat that. So I'm both chugging my coffee, eating the muffin, and trying to go fast until I see the security dude laughing, and I'm like, and he's like, oh, you were fine with the muffin. It's just a coffee. And then I look at the muffin, and there's this like I ate it entirely. He waited to tell me that until it was almost completely ate it, and my coffee is thrown away. So that's for me how it starts. Right after just going out of here. That's how it starts.
Before passing through security and doing any of the border stuff. Yeah.
So I didn't even get to sit down or relax with a coffee. It was gone. I just chugged like half of my coffee, ate my muffin for no reason, because afterwards I had 3 hours to do that. And more, we're gonna get to that. But that's how it started. Of course, it was funny. And even them, I think they were laughing though.
Yeah.
The security.
Yeah, the other security guy came over and said he could help you out if you wanted.
Yeah, and I was like, don't you dare. That's, So that's kind of what happened. What up, KCD? By the way, what's up, Kat? I saw you earlier, and Johnny. What's up, people? So yeah, do you want to?
Yeah, well,
security. I think we were fine, right?
Security actually was super quick. Border stuff was super quick, which kind of led us to being basically 3 hours early for our flight. Which meant we just, we waited all this time. You could have drank your coffee and eaten your muffin,
Yep.
that was
which I thought was the plan.
We had. Yeah.
Yes.
So we wait. I mean, that's not too bad. I mean, we knew how long we had to wait to begin with, which brings us to boarding the plane. So we get onto the plane, no issues there. Everything is fine. Our baggage is fine. We're not putting anything in the cargo of the plane. We're not checking bags or anything. So it's a simple thing for us.
I'm sorry. It's just every single time I'm thinking about flashbacks that we're gonna get to, and it's impossible for me not to laugh. So it might happen as you're talking. Sorry.
They're all good, but so we hop onto the plane. We find our seat. There was, we were surrounded by interesting individuals. I guess there's we'll just say there was the typical white woman Lululemon wearing a group of bachelorette party girls that were basically surrounding us in the airplane, and that was kind of funny for a minute, but then got pretty quickly annoying. But we sit in the plane, and then all of a sudden on the intercom they go, "Oh, there's a bit of a there's a mechanical issue. It's going to take them about 15 minutes to handle." And then we'll be on our way. And then I turn to Yan and I say to him, "Oh, the last time they said this to me when I was on a flight, we actually waited for 3 hours with no AC in the plane." And then we were forced to get off the plane and actually take a plane the next day because they never fixed it. Obviously, this is foreshadowing for what's to come, which is that obviously after the 15 minutes, they hop back onto the intercom and they say, "Yeah, so we're actually not able to fly this plane. This plane can't leave here. It's got too many problems. We can't fix it. So we're going to have everyone go off. But we can't have you guys go off yet because of the border stuff. They needed like someone from the TSA, like someone from Border Patrol to approve us going back into the airport. And they tell us that this dude's in a meeting and he can't be reached, and they don't know for how long he's going to be in this meeting. so obviously everyone on the plane is super excited by this news.
Including the girls,
and then you've got half the plane that like people are already standing up, like ready to walk off, but they've just been told that they have to stay here for a while, but they still don't sit back down. It's the whole
classic
thing. A classic. So we eventually, how long did it take before we went back into the airport?
So at least like 30 minutes, I would say, like at the very least.
30 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. They finally get a hold of the dude. They don't even announce anything on the intercom. We just start seeing people leaving the plane. So, all right, fuck it. I guess we're good to go. They said something about, "Oh, we should have a replacement plane for you guys." But at this point, we're like, keep in mind, the strike that I was just talking about prior was going on since... planes started going back into the sky a day and a half ago. So just simply finding another plane, and maybe in another scenario would be not so complex of a thing, but I had my doubts.
So what we thought was at least if we leave today, right? Like at least, if we leave today, it's still a win. Like it's okay. And then I was super happy because as we're getting out of the plane, I hear, how'd you call that? The agent?
The flight attendant?
Yeah. Saying, kind of complaining that we won't have a plane until 12:30. But I understand that for them, it's a long time. But for for us, it meant that we had a plane the same day. So I was like, okay, it's not so bad. And then it was confirmed, I think, like, I don't know, like 10 minutes later, they're like, they're giving us a voucher for a restaurant or whatever. And
so we got to eat, and I guess it's 10 for context for the rest of this whole story as well. I eat pizza and it's 10 a.m. and it's a blue cheese,
not even 10, by the way.
Pizza, and by pizza I mean it's on a pita bread that's put into like a heater or whatever, which I don't know what got into my mind to order that specific kind of pizza. Not something I typically dislike, but it was 10 in the morning. But for us, we had been up for so long that I completely forgot that it was so early in the morning. But nevertheless, we eat, we wait a little bit more. Noon rolls around, and we're able to finally board a second plane. And this one does eventually take off, and everything there is fine. The plane experience itself, I mean, I tried sleep. I must have taken 50 naps in a row. That was my, I was, we had slept so little that I was just trying to get any amount of sleep possible before having an actual full day in LA, technically speaking. But I that was kind of impossible.
What saved my life in that trip, because I knew I couldn't sleep before LA. I fully knew I wouldn't be able. So I clicked on the TV shows, and there's The Office, there's Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and there's Parks and Recreation, which are my daily rotation. That's what I watch in life. Not all the seasons, but I don't need all the seasons for a single trip. I was okay. So I watched that for a while, and then exactly 3 hours before landing, I seen the movies that I have, Avengers Endgame, which lasts 3 hours. So I'm like, if I watch this when it's done, we're there. And somehow in my mind made my trip better. I'm not sure exactly why. So, and I'm saying that because it's kind of important for further on the endgame part.
I woke up a million times, and I feel like every time I woke up, it was still the ending scene of Endgame.
Yep.
Because that scene goes on forever. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I felt like I was taking crazy pills.
You want to know the weirdest part, though? As we're landing, and we feel that we're landing, the scene in Endgame is like there's people on flying horses, and like there's like, so we're landing, and from the camera it's like it's the same feeling as what I'm watching. Like I had a 3D kind of experience as we're landing. So that was pretty cool. So the flight itself was fine. Obviously we had the girls that you mentioned before, and just for context, people, it's the classic character in the movie that's like talking like, oh my god, I posted on Instagram and he never answered to me, and I was like, people talking like that, and it was that the entire time. But I think they fell asleep on the trip, so we were okay.
Valley Girls, exactly. Yeah.
Is that the name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so textbook of Valley Girl for sure.
And I swear to God, I very rarely say stuff like that. I couldn't say which one is who in that group. Like, and I mean that, like, not media. They didn't look bad or anything, but it felt like it's the same person talking to the same person the entire time. I couldn't recognize a voice, or it really just felt like one character talking to himself. It could be that, and maybe we didn't notice.
That's how we knew we were headed to LA. Let's just put it that way, I guess.
True, but that part was just fun. It was
just funny.
It was funny. It wasn't really,
So we land in LA finally, and I'll spare the details, but because of the strike and all this stuff, we didn't book exactly everything ahead of time. So I didn't rent a car, just in case we weren't gonna make it on the trip anymore. I didn't want to, throw a bunch of money out the window in case shit got canceled. So trying to get that sorted out was like a whole thing in itself, but it eventually got us to the point where we needed to go to a car rental place, which was not at the airport, not far, but not at the airport. Now, leaving LAX, leaving the airport was how would you describe it?
Okay, so it's in my life, I've seen, I've worked in customer service, I've worked in malls, I've seen a lot of places with like weird instructions and stuff like that. By far, it's the least intuitive thing that I've ever seen. Like, they want you to get lost at all costs. It could be because they want to sell you more stuff. I don't know what it is, but might be a tactic. It's the least. I couldn't even, when we found our way, I couldn't even believe that it was there. Still, I was like, there's no way it's there. Yeah. Makes no sense. Like, that must be
the initial exit just to get out of the lounge area of where we landed. It looked like we were headed into the back store of the airport. It felt like we weren't supposed to go there.
I thought it was for employees or something. Same. Like, I was like, there's no, and no signs, or almost like, just, like, we basically walked in circle for a pretty long time.
Yeah.
Thinking where is it?
And that was before finding our way to potentially the exit and trying to, the next goal was to find a taxi to get to the rental place. So now we're just in the general area of the airport, and you can go outside, and it's just like a destination, like arrival and departure drop-offs and pickup locations, but you can't have taxis can't go. In most places, they have designated spots, and then you check on the map, you go to the spot that it says on the map, but there's nothing there. And then we finally flag down a guy who says, we're like, yo, we just want to catch a cab. Where can we find a cab? And he tells us, oh yeah, just go down to the right and you'll see there's tents. And that's where the cabs are.
Super simple. Like
super simple instructions, we thought. So we do that. How long of a walk was it to the tents?
It honestly, between 15 and 20 minutes. It was like 5-6 streets later. Like, we had to walk for so long. That dude literally said, just go right, you'll see the tents. Impossible to see. It's like we could have went with a car. It was we
had to
far.
Cross a highway to get there. There was no seeing the tents.
No, impossible. Ever. And he's working there. That's the word. It's not like we ask somebody who's not sure and I think you can see. It's someone working there. It's your job. You're fully aware that we won't see that. So I didn't really understood, but at least the taxi driver was great. So there's that.
Explain. We roll up. We finally get to this place. Yeah. Mind you, we've probably been in the airport for over an hour at this point, just trying to. We didn't have anything security to do. We didn't have literally anything. All we had to do was get out of the plane and leave and find a cab. It's for sure minimum been an hour since we've been at the airport. Finally find a cab and then explain this dude.
Well, before the cab, first thing we see is 2 cars about to have an accident. As we're walking, I'm just that's the first thing we see, 2 cars just about to, which I understood was very frequent over there. So get to the cab. The second, and I cannot stress that enough, the second we sit down, because we're both polite, so we're like, hey, how are you? No answer whatsoever. So we're there's that. Go in the cab, give the address, and the guy's complaining because he's it's right there, it's 1 street away, and we're well, we don't,
And it's gonna cost you $25 for this like super short walk that you could have done instead.
He's like, it's minimum 25, and we look at him and we're like, it's okay. We're gonna pay the 25. We're not from here.
We're in the cab. We've been trying to find a taxi in the first place. I'm like, I don't care. Just bring me there. I'll pay you $25, my man.
In my mind, I'm just like, well, good for you. You're gonna make the minimum, and it's gonna be right there. Like, I'm just like, everything's fine. So he drives. First of all, his definition of it's right there is blowing my mind, because in his car, it took 15 minutes probably to go to the, like 15 minutes in a car saying it's right there. We would have walked like 45 minutes maybe or something like that. Like It was so far. Like he kept driving and I was like, that's right there for you? Like, are you working or related with the person at the airport to think that? Like, what is wrong with people here? So yeah, exactly. Right down the road. Yeah, exactly. 15 minutes a car. So we get there and we're okay. So he's about to park. And there's a spot right there, like no stress. He could have just parked, not even in parallel, just parked there. And he doesn't. He stops in the middle of the road. So we're like, okay. So get out, take our stuff. And I'm trying, like, we want to give tip, but like we just made American money in the airport. It's kind of all mixed up. I'm trying to be like, okay, so we're trying to figure this out.
Try to pay by card. And he's like, well, I would really prefer cash. I'm like, okay.
Doesn't want us to pay. Fine. Yeah. So now it's cash, and we're just trying to figure out, like, because everything is kind of mixed up with my old Canadian money and the money. So I'm just like, oh. And as we're just trying to figure that out for his tip, he's like stressing out. He's like, I'm in the middle of the road. Like, hurry up. I'm just like, that's the worst service I've ever had in my entire life, you know? And all of his service is caused by himself. Like, there's none of that is on us, you know? He could have just been, hey guys, it's gonna be $25 a minimum though, even if, and we're okay, no problem. He could have parked, so we would have time and everything would have been fine. All of this, you know, bad, it's all all from him. Like, it could have been really, like, sorry to try to give you some tip for your terrible service, by the way. Like, I'm really sorry about that. So it starts like this, right? Terrible information, walk for super long, an hour in the airport, and then this dude is the first impression of a service in LA. So that's how it started for us.
Just a quick second to talk about the sponsor of today's episode, Indie Merch Store. Massive news from The Red Cord. Clients is available for the first time ever on vinyl via Metal Blade Records, featuring brand new art elements that are not in the 2005 CD layout and also mastered for vinyl by Zeus. Pick up the Indie Merch exclusive vinyl variant, neon green with black swirl, along with tons of brand new merch and bundles over at indiemerchstore.com. Carcosa also just announced their brand new album, The Axe Forgets, The Tree Remembers, and you can secure limited vinyl and CDs plus tons of killer merch, tees, hoodies, flags, and more all over at indiemerchstore.com. You can use code BRUTALITY at checkout for 10% off your entire order. Again, that's code BRUTALITY at checkout for 10% off your entire order. Massive thank you to Indie Merch Store for supporting the show. And now, back to the episode. This will be the beginning of a long series about this company, but we rented a car through the app Turo. I don't know if anyone's for those who don't know what it is. It's basically Airbnb before your car, so you can rent out your own car and all this kind of stuff. The same way you would rent out your spot for an Airbnb, but for this particular case, it was basically it was a car rental place that was renting their cars through Turo, which I didn't know ahead of time, but kind of because I rushed on the order, and that is what it is. But we could only book. We couldn't book within like. We couldn't book a car like right now. They had like a minimum of like waiting for an hour for it or whatever. So there was still some time left. We go to the spot and he's like, yeah, it'll be ready in another 25 minutes. So we're like, yeah, no stress. Well, there was a Starbucks across the street. So I'm like, all right, cool. We'll cross the street. We'll just, we hadn't eaten or drank anything since the early morning, since 10 a.m. It's probably mid-afternoon at this point, even later. If we consider the time zones for us personally. And so we go to the Starbucks. I don't know, you bought some fruit and cheese and I just got
it made me so happy. Okay, yeah. Just for context, people, because it's going to be, I think it's going to come back in the story, but like every single thing in restaurant or places like that nobody buys, I'm the one who's buying it. Like they're selling like a whole tray of like cheese and fruits in like a coffee place. And I'm like, oh, that's what I'm taking. So it actually made me happy at that specific moment. I thought it was important to mention. So and by the way, we just got here and it was a win for us to go. That
was our first win of the day. Let's be real.
Yeah.
What? Two things happen at this Starbucks.
No, you can tell it. It's perfect. It's so great.
I have this one thing pulled up. Let me do this here.
Oh, you have a video.
So as we're just waiting there in the Starbucks, we look across the street, and this is a cab driver, and he's waiting for someone to pick up at the hotel that's across the street, right there. And if there isn't something that's more Grand Theft Auto than this, if there is, I don't know what it is. But this cab driver is working out outside his car while he's waiting for someone to pick up for his cab ride. So this is the first thing we really see. And then what do you say in regards to what this place reminded you of, the place where we were waiting?
I didn't even mean that as an insult, but like I've never been to LA, no idea how it looks, how it is. I see in front of me like this old, building right next to a very new building. And it's not the best place, like it doesn't represent LA, right? It's just like it looks, we're kind of nowhere, it's kind of close like to the
industrial
airport.
But then there's like shady like Thai massage places besides the 10 car rentals one beside each other, and then the Trump ad on one side, and then that was kind of, and then the one hotel across the street with the guy working out.
So I look at Dom, and my first thought, and I told him, this reminds me of Mexico. So, because I lived in Mexico for 5 months, and just for context, I lived in Merida, which is a small city, and it's like there's both like rich people and very poor people, so it was kind of the mix. And I didn't realize that it would, not to insult Mexico or anything, but I'm not supposed to feel like I'm in Mexico as my first experience in LA. So and I remember saying it not as an insult, like just like that. I'm like, oh, this reminds me of Mexico. And I realized later on that it was kind of sad that it was my first thought. So this is for the Starbucks, and then it wasn't too bad actually. Afterwards, we were able to finally rent the car, right?
We were able to rent the car. The dude gives us the keys. It's a super nice car, if anything. Like I'm used to driving kind of a dump car here back home, so we're going into this like 2021 car. I'm like, hell yeah, this is cool. Kind of hated the whole, everything now is the dash, the electronic dash. I've got nowhere to like clip my phone for directions and stuff. I've got to pair it with Bluetooth or USB. USB wasn't doing it. Bluetooth is always a bitch. So it was a bit of a hassle to get things going. The dude who rented us the car was probably looking at us outside the window, 10 minutes after we hopped into it and being like, why the fuck have they not left yet? But I was just dealing with the Bluetooth bullshit, man. It is what it is. But yeah, so we finally get the car. It's a chill car. We start driving towards Venice Beach.
And I start to be really car sick. Like I wasn't sick, but I was car sick. So I didn't throw up or anything, but I start feeling like really bad, like real bad, you know, like nothing helps, right? No sleeps, the whole debacle of like the plane and everything, like nothing helps. But I usually I'm fine, even though it's not the best for me, I'm usually okay. But now I couldn't. It was too much, and maybe after the plane too, it didn't help. So I'm starting to feel kind of bad. I'm like,
no sleep, not a lot of food. Like I think it was we initially thought it was just a cumulative of all these things, right?
Yeah. So I start feeling really bad.
For context, like I'm talking to this guy and like, he's like replying like half the time. and this is not a good sign. This is Yan we're talking about, right? So he starts saying that he's feeling bad and then he's like not responding half the time, and I was like, uh-oh. Something's going on here.
Yeah, and it's not like car sick, like, oh, okay, it's fine. It was like, you know, everything, like nausea and like even dizziness, I think is the word. Like I'm starting to feel like that, like headaches, like it was everything at the same time. So I was like, my only thought was just like, that's it. We just got in LA. I'm going to pass out. Like that's my first. So fortunately, we arrived on Venice Beach, which is one of my highlights of the trip, even though I was feeling like crap. When I saw that, just as we arrived, the site, and I was just like, okay, that's, you know, as opposed to me saying it reminds me of Mexico, that was LA, you know, like I was like, okay, like that's, you know, that's better.
You got your fruits immediately too, once we got to the beach.
Okay, that was, you know, everybody here probably knows that I'm very spiritual. If there's like one help that I got from like whatever, like guardians or angels, what it was this. Like when I saw a little stand, and I'm not kidding, for $10, it was like a cup huge like that, full of watermelons and like pineapple. I was just like, for me feeling bad, if you would have asked me, what do you want? It would have been this. Exactly that. Like watermelon, everything. So start eating this, and it did help. Like I started feeling way better.
It's also like 34 degrees Celsius outside.
Yeah.
Let me translate that to American. In Fahrenheit, it was close. It was close to 95. Scorching heat.
So nothing to help me really, I would say. So that happened. And then, okay, so, I mean, we should talk about the skateboarding. There's this huge skate park that I'm sure anybody in LA would know what we're referring to. I mean, like it's the big skate park in Venice, unless there's others, but like
no, it's the Venice Beach skate park for sure.
Okay, there we go. As we arrive, do you have a video of that or something? Oh, I was the one with videos, right?
You had the videos. I've got the videos of the other thing when we went back the second time.
Okay, so we saw, for people who know about skateboarding, just casually, Andy Anderson was skating in the park. He is a pro skater, super chill dude and stuff, but that's like, we just got there. I know he's from LA. I know there's chances, but we're still lucky that the very first time we go there's like a pro skater skating. So, and yes, the other thing was way worse, but it's not the same day, is it? Mm-hmm. Is it the same day? Oh, it's the same day, but later.
This is where we went back.
Yeah, it was later. Yeah, okay. So that happened. And did you noted the bicycles too? That's kind of important.
Go for it.
Okay, so there's a very large section for people to walk be on their bikes and stuff like that, and basically next to the sand. Yeah, and he is really cool. George is really good dude. So we're walking and we don't take space at all. Like we're really like on the side, like
I'm
on half in the sand.
For God's sake.
Yeah. I mean, it's like we're almost not even in it, and every single bike almost would, like, you know, when they have a little honk or like, and they would say comments like a bell, and they would be like, it's for bicycle, like be careful, stuff like. I was just like, what is wrong with these people? Like, just for context, you could fit like 8 bikes side by side.
Yeah,
we're not even like a quarter of it, and they would all do that. I was just like, what is happening?
And just add to this, all rental bikes. No one lives there. No one is acting like a local. This is just people being fucking entitled for no goddamn reason.
Yep. Just because they can. So I was just like, what is, you know what I mean? Like, what is wrong? We didn't care that much, but it was just funny because like we tried talking, and every time the bell, and I was just like, come on, like, are you like, is
no oncoming traffic, no other people on the lane, no, just, you know, possibly 10 feet beside us to go around us, but that wasn't enough for some reason.
It was important to them that we know that it's for bicycles specifically. So that was that. There was that.
I mean, while we're on the topic of the skate park, we'll circle back to everything in between. But I do have this clip of this was probably the most LA thing that we witnessed on our entire trip. It's one
of my
trip.
favorite thing of the entire trip, I think, that we saw that.
So at this same skate park, let me pull it
just
up
a bit
here.
later, basically.
Just a bit later,
So.
we keep walking, we see some other stuff, but then we show back up here, and there's these 2 influencer girls that are in the smack in the middle of the park, that were being taken, you know, with the flash and everything, pictures being taken, not skateboarders by any means, just two random girls that are popping a photo shoot in the middle of the skate park. And I was like, all right.
They're, just for context, they're on a ledge. Like they're literally in a place where you can grind as a skater. Like they're on the middle ledge of the park, doing that. And you don't see everything, but it took a while, you know. They were trying to influence, exactly.
They're trying to influence, yes, sir.
That's what they did. But it was really, really funny to see that in the middle of the park. A very busy park, by the way, as you can see. There's like a lot. It's not like there's a lot of people. So
they were grinding, all right. Yeah, that's one way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so.
Does she look 7 feet tall? I think she was just wearing obnoxiously high heels. Maybe she was also tall. I don't know. It was
which fits the situation. So there was that. And then without knowing it, we thought it would be over for the day. As for the bad lucks and me being sick or anything like that, we're just like, you know what?
Well, you started feeling a little bit better. You know, we had walked outside, better. We got some air, you got some fruit in you. So you're like, I'm not 100%, but I'm feeling better. We're also, you know, we acknowledge the fact that we haven't slept, that we haven't really eaten much. It's been a long day. It's even later for us considering the 3-hour time difference, all these things. But regardless, we kind of have to take the car again at some point if we want to go somewhere. Yeah. So we were like, hey, let's go to In-N-Out, which we start doing. And then, hey, thank you so much, Liquid. So we start driving towards an In-N-Out that's on the way to our Airbnb. and we end up pulling up to it. You're like really feeling bad at this point. You're feeling like a dog shit.
Like worse than the first time, even like really bad.
And then, but then we get to the In-N-Out. It is super tiny. It looks like there's like no dining indoors, and there's a line out the front door around the block. So we're like, well, hell nah, that we're not doing this. We're gonna try another In-N-Out. But meanwhile, again, like that was supposed to be the saving grace for Yan. And Yan at this point is even like, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to eat. Like, you know. So we were like, okay, we're probably gonna like chill outside for 15-20 minutes before we even go into the restaurant. Hindsight, maybe standing in line wouldn't have been the worst thing. But so we put a second In-N-Out on the way on the GPS. And do you want to explain what we started experiencing and what happens?
Okay, so for people here that are used to like drives on different roads, there's sometimes this thing that they put that it's hard to explain, but it's going to be like to slow down the cars or to
sometimes just old roads that got kind of like
old roads or whatever, and you kind of hear a talk. We have even here in Montreal, like we have roads like that.
A ton of places like that.
So we're used to that, and we start hearing a sound, but then it went away for a while. So we're like, okay, it was just the road, no problem. The thing is, as we're heading to the second In-N-Out that we found on the road, the noise come back. It's coming back. But the thing is, it's not a road like that. It's just like a normal road. Like we're not even on the highway, if I remember properly. So we're like, okay, that's weird. But we're like, maybe. And then there was a different noise, much louder, and the kind of noise that the only time I heard that was a flat tire. So I'm like, dude, we just got a flat tire. And even like we're both 100% sure we've got a flat tire. Obviously today, of course, that's what's happening. Get out of the car.
Well, wait. We start really thinking it's a flat tire because the noise is like kind of like really being more intense. But then there's a big like bang. Like it really sounded like a tire blew up.
Yeah.
I didn't feel it on the car. Like it didn't feel like all of a sudden I was on metal. But I've never heard anything else sound like that other than a car tire blow up. I was convinced we blew a tire. Yeah. So pull us out of the road, and then we walk out, and we have no blown tire. I walk on one side, and I'm like, oh, I guess it's on your side, and you're like, no, it's not on your side, and we're both kind of like looking at each other confused, like what the fuck is going on here?
Like what? So you look under the car. Mm-hmm. Oh, you have a pictures of that? I have a picture.
Yeah, I'll pull this up here. But you can keep going. I'll pull it up.
So there was this, like, I wouldn't call it a plate, but kind of a protective layer under the car that kind of snapped.
Yeah, just like the panel under the car that keeps all the dirt and all the shit from coming up into the car and into the mechanical part. And I guess like here, like some of the whatever attaches that panel to the bottom of the car was stripped out in multiple places, all at the front of the car. So basically what we were hearing was this panel kind of flapping up and down. And whenever it made more noise, it's because it was actually dragging into the ground. And the big pop that we heard was a part of it, I guess, just really getting stuck in the road and like breaking off. So it's kind of like, I don't know, some sort of fiber or some sort of thing that just like snapped in half. And that's when we thought we blew a tire. But safe to say that at this point, this is a rental. This is not our car. This is somebody else's car.
That we got today.
That we got the day of. We didn't do shit. We drove like collectively maybe fucking 20 miles with it. Like we barely drove with this thing. It's not like we were doing off-road shit. I'm not a crazy fucking driver. We're not doing jumps or any of this stuff. And like this.
We drove with it for like max like 35 minutes top. Total. You know, like we didn't go anywhere. Like we went to the beach and then this happened on the way back. That's literally what happened.
Yeah. So at this point we're kind of like, well, we're in the middle of nowhere. Like this place where we parked to the side of the road was near nothing. It was like kind of an industrial area, but also kind of a residential area. But there's no stores or anything near this place. So it's a rental, but it's not through the rental directly. It's through the app, the Turo app. And the guy from the rental, we get a hold from him, and he basically says like, stop driving it, leave it where it is, and deal with the app to get the thing towed. But what time is it? Like 10 at night?
It's like 10:30, yeah.
10:30 p.m. in the middle of fucking nowhere. We're not gonna just leave the car there. And even if / when a towing would come, we'd have to be there anyways. Like, we're not going to sleep in the car till something shows up the next day. He tells us to call the next day. So in my mind, customer service just wasn't a thing at night. And to be frank, at that point, we were so fucking tired and over it that I wouldn't have called that night regardless. I wouldn't have waited there, you know, where we were at. He's telling us to just leave it there. And I'm looking at how far we are from the Airbnb, and we're like a 13-minute drive without highways. And I'm like, hell no, we're just driving this thing 40 kilometers an hour, 4 flashers on. We're taking it slow, and because it's not a mechanical problem, right? We just don't want this thing to scrape on the ground. So we drive to the Airbnb. We don't hear the noise again, really, and at least we get to the Airbnb. We have somewhere to stay, and then we think, well, at least the next day, once they come tow it and shit, we'll be here. We'll be able to hand off the keys. We'll be able to deal with it. So that was kind of day one. I mean, we show up at the Airbnb. The Airbnb, 10 out of 10, no complaints with the Airbnb. Super easy to get in, all this stuff. It was the classic California, like a building in someone's backyard. That's just like an extra kind of like guest room type thing, but it's got everything in it with, bathroom, shower, stuff to make some basic food and all this stuff. And it's got a bed and a couch. So we get there. We still haven't eaten, mind you, at this point.
Nope.
The last thing that I ate was that blue cheese prosciutto pita pizza.
That looked horrible, by the way.
That looked like fucking dog shit. From the airport at 10 in the morning, and it is now close to, I mean, it's past 11, close to midnight. Yeah. With the 3-hour time difference, it's like 3 in the morning, technically speaking.
Yeah. And just for context, we woke up at that time.
Yeah, right. With like 2 hours of sleep tops. And then we look at Uber Eats. We're like, we're gonna have something sent over here. And we end up ordering Wendys, which we have here. But you know what? I was looking at Wendys, and I was looking at the Baconator, and I was like, my man, let me have me some of this. I know it's a known quantity. I know the Baconator is gonna slap, especially with the amount of food we had eaten so far. But it was kind of sad because we were both in the Airbnb. We're in California. We wanted to try In-N-Out. We're like, okay, let's try some Cali things. And we ended up having Wendys of all things. I think you got 3 chicken burgers, and you powered through those 3 burgers in. I
finished before you.
I think I was still unwrapping my Baconator, and you had already eaten a full chicken sandwich.
Oh yeah, that I remember.
By that point.
That I remember. Yep, it was gone.
Yeah.
Like you literally said, didn't you have 3 burgers? I'm like, I just ate one.
Exactly. Yeah.
Took 1 second. Like, 3 bites. I was just like, this is like, I felt like shit all day. You know what I mean? I was just like, I'm eating, don't care what happened. In my mind, I'm not kidding. What I'm thinking is, there's a bathroom right there. I don't even care if I'm sick afterwards. I'm eating this. Like, I was to that point of just like, and it made me, for what it's worth, felt instantly, better. So even though it was fast food or whatever, like, just to give my body something else than like watermelons in the afternoon, it was a game changer.
Some real calories.
And we were super, that's the funny part. For us, the wins of the day were basically Starbucks and ordering Wendy's. So of course the skate park was cool, but I mean, like, in terms of just like, those were wins when it's usually just something you don't even mention. It's usually just like, oh yeah, we ordered whatever. It's something people even forget on their trip because it's nothing to mention. But with everything that was happening, best believe it was like a huge. It was huge for us. Like, I remember, we're so happy to eat, Wendy's. That was our day ended, and we slept so freaking well. I mean,
we slept great. We slept the whole last 8 hours. We were like, yo, look, we were originally of the mind that Friday, the second day that we got there, was going to be the day that we had the time to really like explore and do as much as possible. We had a bunch of stuff, not like concretely lined up, or like we had a bunch of stuff that we knew we were wanting to do at the very least. And we were like, okay, Friday is probably going to be that day where we're going to get up early, and we're going to go do all these things. That being said, wake up on Friday morning, we got a broken car still in our hands.
Yeah.
So I hop on the phone as soon as I can. I think it's like 10 a.m. Because again, we needed to sleep. If we weren't sleeping, we would have had the same kind of bullshit day the next day. It was a necessity, but yeah, we sleep till, I don't know, 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm on the phone with Turo, with the company, and they say, all right, it's gonna be like an hour to an hour and a half for our towing to come, and then once the towing picks up the car, we'll be able to just swap you to another car. So in theory, I mean, that idea is like, okay, we're like starting our day a little bit later than what we thought. We don't know what the situation is going to be with getting a new car, but at least there's like something moving, it doesn't, hour and a half. It's not the end of the world. We were kind of annoyed because during that time, it's not like we could go get breakfast or something. We kind of had to wait for the tow truck to arrive. But the thing is, we wait 3 hours and I'm not getting any notifications whatsoever. They're telling us that we should be getting texts to be notified about when the tow truck is going to come and updates on the timeline and all these things. But then I come to find out, because I keep calling back just to try and see and figure out what's going on, especially once the deadlines are kind of passed, and they basically tell me, because I have a Canadian phone number, that text messages aren't going to be received on my end for some reason. I don't know why, because I can text my American friends and there's no problem. There's no extra fees. There's no nothing. There's nothing different about me texting Ann or me texting someone in the US, but on their end, something to the effect of, well, it just doesn't work that way.
I'll be back.
Yeah. So meanwhile, 3 hours passes with no updates. I've been on the phone a few times at this point. Every time they're asking me the same goddamn questions to recertify that they know exactly who they're talking to and all the different numbers, yada, yada. 3 hours go by, I finally call back, and I spend 40 minutes on the phone with them for them to ultimately tell me that the initial tow truck that was supposed to be sent was never sent. It like basically didn't exist. No one picked up the call or picked up the reference number or whatever the bullshit is. And they're telling me, well, it'll be another hour to an hour and a half. So at this point, it's like, it's early afternoon. It's like 1 p.m. We're kind of getting aggravated because I'm just trying to figure out a way to get a new car. I'm asking like, hey, is it possible to book a second car? Is there anything we can do? They say, no, we really have to wait for the car to be picked up first. I'm like, okay, is there any way to, like, I've got the only reason I'm staying here is because I need to hand off the keys. And they're like, well, you could leave the key in the glove box. But they need to be sure that they're able to actually pick up, open the doors and get those keys to be able to tow the car away. And this isn't my car. I don't know how this particular car works. And my main fear is that if I put the keys in there, that it would automatically lock the doors after a certain amount of time. Now, some cars, probably newer cars, maybe that shit wouldn't happen. But I don't know enough about it, and I'm sure as hell I am not taking a chance of them needing to smash the fucking window open of this rental car that's already got problems to go get the key because I decided to leave early and not hand off the keys. So I'm kind of like, fuck, this is ass. But again, we were in an Airbnb that was behind the owners of the Airbnb's house. So I go to them and I'm like, yo, is there any way I can leave the key with you if you're sticking around here so that when the tow truck arrives, you could hand off the keys and we could at least like get on with our day? And at this point, we kind of we conceded to the fact that we're just gonna Uber ride across LA. That was just the only thing that we could really do unless we wanted to flat out rent out another car from another company or something. So I'm like, hey, can I leave the keys with you? He's like, no, I'm actually leaving in a half hour, so I can't help you. They were super fucking sweet, but he does tell me the story of like how safe the neighborhood is and that his front door had been left open for 3 days straight before on a trip that he had done before. And before the neighbors actually picked up on it and gave him a call and were like, yo, is it normal? Your door's been open for 3 days. And the only thing that happened with his front door being wide open for 3 days was a raccoon went into the house, left 2 hours later, and that's it. No one came to rob the house. So he was kind of explaining that it was a safe neighborhood. And with that was telling me, hey, just leave the key in the letterbox out front, and you can tell them to pick it up from the mailbox. So that's what we did. I was still kind of nervous of leaving the key there because I was like, with our luck at this point, I was like, fucking someone's gonna see me put it there and then
or the raccoon's gonna take it.
Well, like, it was just kind of like one of those things. If someone runs off with the car, then we are supremely fucked, right? So yep. I was like, I don't want this, but at the same time, it's like 3 PM or some shit. We want to get on with our day in any capacity whatsoever. So we do that. We end up taking the Airbnb. We don't. I tell Yan, I say, hey, have you thought about Gravol, which is, I don't know what the medical, because that's like a Canadian brand or whatever, but basically like medication for nausea and stuff like that. Because we knew for motion sickness and all this stuff, because we knew regardless of it being a rental or an Uber or whatever, we knew we were going to be in a car a lot of times. So I was like, hey, have you thought of that? And Yen was like, no, but that would probably be a good idea. So we're like, let's find a pharmacy. The closest pharmacy to where we were at, and we were in like a neighborhood, like a normal ass residential neighborhood. The closest pharmacy was like 15-20 minute walk away. It's scorching heat outside. We're like, all right, we'll go there. We show up to the pharmacy. Very hot. Like, we show up to the pharmacy on foot. We walk in and it's basically just it's a pharmacy made for prescriptions of the medical clinic that's tied to it across the street. So we walk in and
the pharmacy. It's this, like, you see my tablets here. That's the entire pharmacy, basically.
I've probably got more meds in my apartment than they had for sale on their shelves. Obviously, they've got their prescription stuff in the back and whatever, but literally it was like 10 feet wide of and three stacks high of shelving with maybe 15 products with like three of each.
It's like 10 boxes of Tylenols, and that's the whole thing. Like,
yeah. So we ask, and we're trying to figure out what the US, like what the actual molecule is or whatever, because Gravol is not a thing, and they help us out with that, but they're basically like, look, sorry, we don't have this here. We were also looking to buy sunscreen and stuff like that, but they didn't have that. So yes, George, to your point, we needed a CVS or a Walgreens, which yes, we were aware it was the likely scenario, but the 20-minute walk to this pharmacy in the first place was the closest option to begin with. So the CVS was even further. So we take an Uber to go to the CVS, and at that point, we were able to get everything. We needed like razor blades and
a couple of things. Very important sunscreen
that we didn't use, and
yep. I technically used it.
Technically, yeah. We got out of there, and Yan was like, look, I want to make sure that I don't have an allergic reaction to the sunscreen before actually applying it to my entire body. So he ends up putting like a dab's worth, like just a little bit on his wrist, just to make sure it's okay. And he was okay, but never ended up using the sunscreen anyways.
Yep. So that's what happened with the sunscreen. But at least we had what I needed, and I was very stoked about that.
We were waiting for an Uber at the CVS to finally go do something.
Of course, in the parking lot, there's an accident. In the parking lot where we are, there's just someone who, like, for no reason, there's a parked car, and the person just went in, like, with a lot of space, just backed it up for no reason. And I was just like, okay, that seemed to be LA. Just people don't know to drive in general, or just careless and doesn't look. So that starts with this, and then that's one of my favorite part. Earlier, when I started laughing and I'm like, sorry, sometimes I have flashbacks, it was this. It was what we're about to. I'll let you say it. It was one of my favorite things of the entire thing. It wasn't as we're in it, but now looking back, it's one of my favorite things.
Yeah, well, I'll set the stage, and you can explain what you're thinking about. But basically, we wanted steak and egg. We told ourselves before the trip started, if we do, and this is literal words, this was our thinking, if there is one thing that we do throughout this entire trip, we want a good steak and egg breakfast. Whatever the scenario, whenever the scenario, but we just need to have a great steak and egg breakfast. Now, it's, I think, 3 p.m. at this point, where we're finally leaving the pharmacy to finally go potentially eat a steak and egg. But the really awesome spot that we had found obviously closes at 2, so that was a no-go at that point. So finally find another spot that was on the way of whatever else we were doing. We hop into an Uber, and
yeah, okay, so just for context, I'm someone who has, like, I think it's called health anxiety. It's like I don't want to be sick, I don't want to, and as we're walking in, I see the dude driving as like a mask, and he's like coughing, and like he has like the ridiculous little thing, like if it would protect you. Like, it's not even it's like a little plastic, but it's not even next to his head.
No, but let me explain what that is, because I have a bunch of these in my apartment. He had a square that was just kind of fitted between the two seats, but didn't actually go all the way up to the top, so he could actually turn around and look at us. Completely useless. Made of it's what I use. It's window film. It's like protective film, so that privacy film, so that you can't see on the other side of someone's window. Most of them are either just kind of like kind of softens it, but his was what we have here, where it's just kind of like rainbow colors and shapes and shit. But it was kind of tacked into the seats with like with pins, with how do you say that? To hold paper clips.
Paper clips. Yeah, that was the most useless thing I've ever seen in my life. And sometimes when he wanted to, like, he would remove the mask half the time. Like, it was completely useless. Mazda, it would be hypochondria. Not really germophobia. It's mostly just I don't want to be
fear of getting sick.
Yeah. It's not really all germs. It's more like I don't want to be sick with things. Like just for context, like if I go to the grocery store and I use my phone and everything while touching stuff there, I'm like washing my phone. Like just to give an idea, I'm kind of like that. To my defense, I've never been sick, I think, in 3-4 years. And I don't want to jinx myself. I'm saying that, and then I'm going to get sick. But yeah, so I'm looking at Dom, and as we're in the cab, I'm like, dude, like, the windows are closed.
Yan is freaking out. He's explaining to me. He's like, this guy's coughing. He's taking his mask off. He's like super careless. We're trapped in this AC running closed window car, and Yan is kind of freaking out. Now, mind you, me in my position.
But that's the best part of all of this.
Me in my position, Yan is telling me all of this, and I'm looking at the cab driver through like the rear view mirror, and I can kind of see there, but I only really see his eyes, and he's falling asleep on the wheel, like severely falling asleep at the wheel. Like he's fighting back to keep his eyes open, but they keep actually closing, and then he opens them up again. And in my mind, I've got Yan that's already freaking out beside me because of all this shit, all this shit. And I tell myself, I'm like, I can't say anything to Yan. I can't say this to Yan. I will tell Yan once we're out, because I think Yan would have crashed the fuck out or just walked out of the car, if I'm being real.
Honestly, you would have told me that, I would have been like, okay, that's enough. Park on this side. We were
on the highway, for what it's worth.
Yeah, no, at this point, for a while, but afterwards we were kind of in the street. I would have been like, park right there, go home, and drink like orange juice and just like chill and stop driving. Like, because he was also driving very bad, very bad, like extremely bad,
like someone who's falling asleep. Kind of...
Which I didn't know, so I just thought he was a horrible driver, because I've seen so many horrible drivers. I thought it was.
We're stuck in traffic, and he goes off of the path that's suggested to try and do like some sort of shortcut, and he like turns back around because he notices that it's gonna be even worse there, and it's a whole thing. We eventually get to our steak and egg, and I've got to say, we don't gotta. I mean, there's nothing negative to say here, so we don't gotta harp on it. But I
sent you a picture though.
The best food that we had, that was, after all the bullshit, it was the most satisfying thing for us to eat. And again, it was the one thing we wanted to do. We were finally getting it. Let me pull
top
this
5
up
of
here.
My entire life, like plates, like top 5 in my life.
This
insane.
Shit was insane, dude. For context, where do we go? This is Norm's, so it's a chain, but service was absolutely insane.
Incredible.
Food was absolutely insane. Nothing negative to say. We T-bone for sure. We were hungry as shit at this point. I finished my T-bone. Not necessarily everything else. I can pull up. I think I've got my
Makes
food.
me so hungry. Just for context, by the way, this specific meal, I could eat that every day for the rest of my life easily and never get sick of it. Like very easily. That's basically what I eat a lot of the time. Like that's my favorite thing.
I just want to point out, like, my steak was hanging off of my plate.
Yep.
It was dripping on the table. And I don't clean up my plate, but I eat my T-bone.
I love how my picture looks like with a filter with like full of colors and stuff like that. And now we see the table in like brown gray.
Not the best picture here for sure. But
took me forever, and you took it in 1 second. So it makes a lot of sense.
Exactly, yeah. So I eat and I'm like completely full. But then the pancakes are still there, and I'm like, let me at least try the pancakes just to see how it tastes. And they were so goddamn good that I ate both pancakes. I
did the same thing. I looked at you and I'm like, I'm just going to eat at least a little bit of it. We ate everything. It was just too good. And again, the service, it was our first good service, except
it was our first restaurant
Airbnb
meal. We hadn't sat down in a restaurant yet.
Yeah, but I mean, we still had horrible services and all of stuff. I mean,
but just from a fruit experience, I'm just saying it had been 24 hours that we touched down, and we hadn't sat down in a restaurant yet, which is kind of insane.
It's insane. But that steak and egg was our first real victory during that trip. Like it was like we looked at each other and we're like, we're here. And this is a win. Like, except you were still talking on the phone.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. So I was, we took the time to eat and stuff, but then we realized what time it was. It's a Friday. We were kind of freaking out at this point because we didn't have a rental yet. We had no news still from the tow truck. It's 4.
Since the morning.
This is 4 in the afternoon. This is 6 hours since I called. There is no tow truck in sight to pick up the car that we need to be picked up before we can finally get another vehicle. So it's 5 o'clock. I remember because I was looking at places, and other rental places were closing at 6. And then probably closed for the weekend. So we were kind of like, I call back and I'm like, look, if you guys can't get me a rental, I need to know now, because I need to rent a car somewhere else, and I've basically got an hour left. So, and I'm dealing with this on the phone while we're at the fucking breakfast spot. And they I don't know. I try to just really nail home the fact that I just need to rent another car. They're unable to do anything about it. Completely useless. So we're like, fuck it. We just need to rent a car. So we look up a spot that's not too far. Take an Uber to like an Enterprise, like some like nation chain that they've got. I mean, we've got them here too. And we show up there, and there's like 15 people waiting in the lobby, and so I walk up, and we weren't oblivious to the fact that this was probably not happening at this point, but we ask what the deal was and if it was possible to get a car, and she was like, yeah, all these people are waiting on cars too, so you can wait, but probably not going to be a thing. And we would have had to wait like a 45 minutes to find out.
It won't happen.
She didn't want to say no on the off chance that they did have a car available down the line and they could have made the extra $50, but like clearly this was not going to be a thing. So we were like, all right, I guess we're just continuing to Uber around the city.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, the Uber to the Enterprise.
That's good. No, don't say it because you're the one who. Yes,
I opened the door to the Uber, and this dude is like
cannot make that up.
This dude is like super, like the happiest dude we had in any of the Ubers we took. And I opened the door, and to sit down, I had to move 4 tall cans of beer that were ice cold that he clearly just bought from the corner store or the liquor store or whatever.
As we're walking in, like, just for context, I didn't see the beer, and I just hear Dom saying shift is almost over, a little beer, and I was just like, that's kind of rude to tell someone just like that. And then I look and I see like a 6-pack on the directly next to him. I'm like, oh, that's what happened, because he looks super happy. He's like, yeah, I just bought it. I'm going home. I think he was watching sports or something where I don't remember what it was. But.
That was to our Enterprise. From the Enterprise, we find out we can't rent a car there. So we finally get a call from a tow truck driver who's like, hey, I'm actually on the way to get the car. Let me know where the keys are. I'll probably be there in 20 minutes.
And it's like 6, and it wasn't 20 minutes for context, but it was around 6.
It was like around 6. I'm like, all right, cool. So I tell him, and he's super chill. He's like, can you text me this info? No. So I send him some info, whatever. I've got his phone number now, which comes in clutch later. And yeah, so we wanted to go to Little Tokyo, just to kind of peruse, just kind of check out the shops, just kind of be in the ambiance a little bit. And so we head there. We do that. I mean, that was like a cool, just kind of a little. It was I don't know how to explain it, but it was a fun time just walking around.
The driver was pretty intense as we're going that. It was nice, but he was telling us all those like murder
stories that were happening to Uber drivers and shit. Yeah.
So I was like, because
in the Uber Black and like the big fucking Suburban.
And as we're driving, wasn't he the one with the Audi? Could be wrong though, but. Yeah. Okay, so we're driving and we see out of this starts because we see cops like pulling off, like I think it was a Uber driver.
It was another Uber driver that they're
So he tells us like, look, I could click right here and cops would throw you out the car. I'm like, and Dom is just like, can you be careful not by accident of clicking on it? And he just starts laughing, and I was just like, that would fit the trip. Like, now we're arrested for nothing. So yeah, it's a thing that people can click when they're in Ubers and they feel like maybe they're in danger or something. And then the cops, very efficient. I'm going to give that to the cops. Very efficient.
Yeah, because the context is that we cross an Uber that's on the side of the road, but the people are outside of the car, and then we hear the cop cars come speeding down to get to them, and then I look back, and the dude that was taking the Uber was like already in handcuffs. The cops were like taking him down. So
took 1 second. Yeah. So the dude starts telling us like stories, but like got shot in the head, stuff like where I'm just like, oh my god, like a story one after the other of just like people getting murdered, and I'm just like, he's like, you never know, man, 1 second and you're dead. I'm just like, he gives us tricks to like have another wallet, but a fake one with like fake cards and stuff. That part was interesting, I guess. But yeah, it was cool, but it was like a whole weird experience in itself. Not too bad. But as you said, when we got to Tokyo, not Tokyo itself, it would have taken forever. Little Tokyo in LA, it was great. Full of anime's figures and stuff like that. I had enough control to not buy anything, which was kind of surprising.
Surprise. Yeah. Yan showed some restraint.
Yep. I was just like, you know what? Well, there's also the fact that I see that we cannot stop spending because of Turo. And I'm like, you know what? We'll see. No, but for real, I was just like, you know what? It's cool. Like for me, just being there, the music, that's really fitting, by the way, down to the music, the ambience, everything, people, it was cool. So that part was just great. Like, unless I forget something, it was for the most part just cool. Didn't last very long. I mean, we just saw what we had to see. And then we took another, cab. I don't remember this one. I think it was fine. The
cab driver to there? Yeah,
I mean,
it was
the
fine.
Uber. I think it was okay.
I've got a photo to pull up of something we saw on the way. We were going.
It might be. Oh, hold on. It might be the favorite Dom's things of the entire trip. Like that was every time we would bring stuff up, he would bring back what he's about to show. I think it might be one of your favorite things from the whole trip.
I mean, so we're headed to Melrose Avenue, which for context is just a strip full of vintage clothing stores and hat shops and shoe stores and all this stuff, and we just wanted to look around. But we knew at this point that by the time we were getting there, everything was probably going to be closed for the most part. But we were like, fuck it, we'll at least like still walk it. And it was on the way to Venice Beach if we ever wanted to go down to Venice Beach as well after that, which we didn't end up doing. But that was at least the plan initially. And as we're as we're in the Uber,
I saw it. I was like, dude.
We're side to side with this one car. Look, I can't even describe it. I'll just pull it up. But this is the most hoarder ass car I have ever seen in my entire life. This shit ain't pass in Canada. You cannot drive around like this in Canada. This is not
the full car, by the way. You don't see it, but it was the entire car, even in the back. He's in garbage. He's driving in garbage. Like, by the way, look at where I am. I'm right next to it. I was seeing it very clearly. And like, I was looking, believe me, they're all garbage. Not like a bit of garbage. And then there's like stuff. All freaking garbage, like disgusting garbage. I saw like I could smell, like it was horrible. And
imagine his house. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And he's driving like it's normal. Like the first time, because now you're seeing it with context. For me, I don't know I'm about to see that and tell Dom. So we're just talking and I go like this. And I just see someone waiting for the light, like if it's normal, and he has garbage here, like garbage around his, and he's just like waiting. And I was just like, well, he's like, he cannot act like this is normal. You cannot just drive this. Like, we don't see it, but like, I'm telling you, the whole car, he cannot see any, what do you call that? Like blind spot?
You can't do your blind spot. Yeah. No,
nothing.
None of that. Yeah.
I don't, and even in I'm just surprised that no one pulled them over. Like, hey, like what the fuck is going on with your car? Like, this is.
I agree with you, Mazda. For what it's worth, I fully agree with you. But I mean, it was just for us like a wild thing. Like, I guess it's just like surprising. Like you just don't expect that sort of thing to pop up.
But of course it's sad though. That our second thought obviously was that, because I would be lying if it was our first thought. But our second thought was that, like in my mind, it was just like, oh shit, that person is not doing well mentally. You know what I mean? Like I was like, oh, that's pretty bad. Because like it's something you see. I saw documentaries about people like this, but like living in this, like houses and stuff like that. First time in my life that I see a car though. Like that's another, like you're bringing garbage with you. Like it's not day of garbage.
But again, it's because like that doesn't fly here. Like that is not legal here.
You can't.
You would be pulled off.
Two streets and it's like.
Yeah. So there is that. But so we eventually make it to Melrose. Everything's pretty much closed. We walk into this like punk vinyl store, which fine. We were in it for 30 seconds and it was fine.
He's about to close clearly.
He's about to close and he's like acting it as a let me know if you need anything. he's like fuck me. We start walking down. We're just kind of like looking at what there is because we can't really walk into anywhere.
Also for context, I told you that the only thing I kind of wanted to buy like was a cool hat, like and the driver drops us at a super sick, like full of like basketball cap, like my kind of hats that I like. And as I look, they just close and they are closing at like I see the guys on the other side and they're even like, hey, because they see that I'm looking and I'm like, so because of Turo, I'm just in time to miss it. Like the place I wanted to go. I wanted to give that context. I thought it was important. So
the one place we end up actually going to is Starbucks. Starbucks was the constant. It saved us. The constant in our whole trip. The one thing that stays open a little bit more than the rest. So we walk into Starbucks. I'm thinking
saved us many times over the trip. Many times over the trip. Yeah.
I'm thinking Yan already knows what he wants, so I just walk up and I'm like, hey, I'll have this. And then Yan has like choice paralysis and has no idea of what he wants, but the dude is kind of just waiting there at the cash for like a few minutes. And then I'm like, Yan's just like, just pay for your thing. I was like, okay, so I pay for my thing, and then I really needed to go to the bathroom too, so I was like, so I give the card to Yan, like pay with this, take your time, whatever. I go to the bathroom. I go towards the bathroom. There's like 5 people in the one stall bathroom for some reason. I wait maybe 10 minutes for them to come out to finally use the bathroom, and then you finally decide your drink.
Yeah, I don't. Do you remember the name of it? It's like a cold brew caramel, salted caramel infused thing. Yeah, so coffee, cold brew, caramels, and salt. Like, it was insane. Like, I saw that. I'm like, there's no way it's not good. I usually just drink like boring black coffee. I'm like, I mean, it's just going to be more sugary in the worst case, but it's coffee. So I buy this, and as I'm saying this, the dude's high, like his eyes just like lights up, and he's like, that's by far my favorite drink. I drink that every single day. He made a really good choice. I think it was his way also to be like, kind of,
thank God this dude took 5 minutes to choose something, and I can finally make it.
He was like in his mind, probably just like, at least he's taking something good. Like, it took him forever. Like, I think it was also his way of being kind of just like, what you took is good. At least it took you forever. You seem pretty slow, but at least your drink is going to be good. It was kind of that. So that was a thing. Then I think I think I know what's coming next.
Yeah,
right?
you spot the board shop.
So we're walking.
I'll let you explain this whole thing.
Yeah. Everything is closed, and almost. And I see like a little shop. It's like it almost looked like a mini Apple store. It's like all white with a bit of clothing. And I spot at the very end, like in one angle, I see a few skateboards, and I'm like, oh. And it was important to me to see like skate shops in LA somehow. I just wanted to see a skate shop in LA. So I look at Dom, and I'm like, I think that's a skate shop. And he looks, and he's like, I don't think that's a skate shop. I'm like, dude. And I show him, and he's like, yeah, it looks sketchy. We can go. Which, to be fair, was the case. Like, it didn't look like a skate shop at all. Enters a skate shop. As I walk in, just for context, I think I told you guys many times I love skateboarding and the Nine Club, which is a podcast about skateboarding. As we're walking in, one of the hosts of the Nine Club is right there, Kelly Hart. Like, as we're walking in, super random. Everything is closed. It's like an event or something. I'm like, what is happening, you know? So I see him, and then he's like with friends talking, and I hate being that person stopping a conversation, and Dom is just like, dude, go say hi and okay, other context.
Yeah. The added context changes everything. Actually.
Very important. Yeah. The place where I work, the skate shop where I work here, one of my good friends who did all the designs is also working with the Nine Club. He works with those guys, has meeting with them every single week. So they know him, and he's one of my good friends. So the whole context of it was just like, just tell him that like you're a friend of, that dude, and just talk with him. And even then I was like, So we talked with the owner, who was amazing, though. I think he was the owner. Like,
I don't think he was
kind.
the owner. No, he was just a dude.
I thought he was. Okay, yeah. Well, he was awesome. Talked to him for a while, and then we leave, right? And I instantly regret not talking to Kelly and mentioning that. And I'm like, I should have. And then I write to my friend Charlie. I'm like, dude, I saw him, and he's like, you didn't talk to him? Dude, like, he would have been happy. Now I'm regretting even more. I'm like, I should have talked to him. So Dom, for the entire trip wanted to see this specific place, like no, sorry, eat at a specific place. And obviously, when we finally find it, did you know we were about to find it, by the way?
So
it was
that's
a surprise.
The thing. I knew it was like kind of close or something like that, but I didn't think we were actually going to walk by it. But there's this place called Pink's, which is like a hot dog spot, legendary spot. It's like it's like an old school fucking place that does like chili dogs and stuff like that. And I've always wanted to go, never been, walk by there. There's a Voodoo Donuts on the corner of the street, and then it's a Pink's right behind it, which goated spot for food. But we had just had our steak and egg not that long before, maybe 2 hours prior. And so there was no way I was putting a chili dog in my for what
it's worth. No, but for what it's worth, even me, like, sometimes you're like, oh, I could, like, there was no way. Like, I was just like, both just like, not even like, I couldn't even eat like a cookie or something like I would
nothing at all. We had been like, we had our drink, but that was like kind of just to be able to digest more than anything else. There was no extra food going in. But we're like, I wanted to at least scope it out. I'm like, well, fuck, we're here. Pink's is like right there. I want to at least look at the place because the spot is actually, it's like full of neon signs, got the old school sign and everything.
And it looks so good. That's the problem.
Looks sick,
like,
right?
I was smelling and I was like, oh, like fully thinking about like, oh my God, this was it. And then we're not, because honestly, I would have ate there, like for sure. I wanted to try that, like just with the smell, with the, and I think
any other context we would have eaten there for sure.
Oh, for sure. Like, and okay, there's another thing though. You're on the phone during that period of time. We forgot to say that.
I'm on the phone with the fucking company to try to get a car still.
And okay, so just for context, it's about, I think it was 8:30, and finally they towed the car. He called at 10, 8:30 at night. It's almost 12 hours later, and finally he's like, well, first of all, I didn't tell you. You had to contact the tow truck person because you just didn't. Okay, so you're like, did you have it?
Yeah, I had no updates from Turo, so I was talking to the tow truck driver that picked up directly the car, and he was telling me I'm nearly back with it, and this is at like 8:30. Yeah,
and. Okay, so good news though. We know we're gonna be able to have a car at freaking 8:30. So that was something.
Just quick, I'll slot it in though. We were at Pink's. I get a ping on Discord from a man of the username Skin. And he's like, yo, are you at Pink's right now? And I'm like, wait, what? So someone from our Discord was like, he saw that we were, he saw us at Pink's. And ironically enough, we weren't eating there. So we could have literally not turn that corner. We weren't on that street. We were on the side, on the street beside it. But
I don't think we would have turned.
We wouldn't have turned if it weren't for the Pink's. Yeah. So, and the only reason we were standing there, and like staying there was because I was on the phone with the company, and trying to figure shit out. So we had a conversation with Skin, which was cool to kind of randomly have someone from the Discord be like, hey, what's good? And then yeah. So then afterwards, we're like, we finally get to being able to book. Like, I simply get the confirmation that I can book a new car finally, and they're like, anything else we can help you with? I'm thinking like, yeah, I want a refund on all my shit. I want to, there's a lot I need to talk to you guys about, but I am not dealing with this right now.
But at this point also, we're fed up of talking to these people. Yeah. Like, honestly, like, just think about it. Like, he had to call maybe 5, 6, 7 times the same day for always completely unhelpful. Is that a word?
Sure.
Like, okay, so not like never, just for context also, never at any point of that entire like 12 hours they offer anything. It was just like, there's nothing we can do until you have nothing. They know, by the way, in the morning, Dom told us it's our only day to visit and stuff like that. We rented a car with you guys to make sure that we could go anywhere we want. And it's been forever. Not once had they even try to offer something. It was just like, we need to wait for the so we're fed up at this point. It's just like, knowing the service that they gave, just for reimbursement, it would have maybe 10, 15 hours.
So at this point, we're like, look, I can book another car, but as
all we want is a car.
Doing, as was the case when we first got a car, and we had to wait for it. Well, it was the same thing here. We rent a car and we can only get it in an hour and a half. So finally book a car, and we're like, well, now we got to do things for an hour and a half. So we end up going back to the skate shop.
Yeah, because I was full of regrets not talking to Kelly, and I'm like, and Dom knew, right? So we never fully formulated that I wanted to go back, but it was very clear. So we just started walking there. And he was still there, which I was lucky. He could have left, right? Like, it took a while. So then we go back to the shop. He's there. And that time he's like still talking with people. He has like 2 beers in his hands or something. He's like party mode. And I'm like, I don't care. Went to him, super chill guy, right? Like, he was cool. Like, he was really cool. Yeah. And then he sent this to my friend Charlie, which Charlie then sent that back to him, with him giving the middle finger as he's sending him. And Charlie was happy that I did. Like, he told me afterwards, he's like, there we go. That's better. Because it was stupid not even trying to. Yep. And just for context, for people who don't watch the 9 Club, he's like probably the most sweet of like all the, like of everybody.
Laid back as hell. Yeah. I mean, they all are, but I mean,
they're all are, but like the chillest. He's always laughing. He's super. So there was no reason ever for me to even think that he would have been like, dude, he's just nice, you know. And he was just stoked, and he immediately, when I said like, I know Charlie, his face lit up, starts like smile. He's like, oh my god. And instantly in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm stupid, I should have done this in the beginning. But I was really happy we went back, though. Like, really happy we went back. I would have fully regretted it. So that was, to me, not closure, because it happened like 5 minutes before that, but like, it was really cool to be able to do that and have that interaction. Because also, for context, I know I said it, but I watch a 9 Club like constantly. I really love the 9 Club.
You and me both, brother.
Well, we both. It's true.
We both really love the 9 Club, so it's cool to see some of the people in the flesh.
Exactly. And right next to him, also for skateboarders in the chat, there was Beagle from Baker 3, like the legendary filmer and skater. We didn't talk to him. I wouldn't push my luck. I was like, we were already talking to someone. It's fine.
It took everything to get that one photo.
Exactly. I was just like, but Beagle was there. It was the TJ Rogers event, I think, something like that.
TJ was there too. It was TJ Rogers. He was putting out a shoe, and he was doing like a skate shop tour. And he was doing it there. What was it? Brooklyn Project was the
Brooklyn Project. Yeah, and we were extremely lucky, mind you, because usually everything was just closed. It was just because that specific
there was an
day,
event. Yeah,
there was an event. So I guess that's the only thing that Turo lined up that was better in terms of timing. But that's pretty much it. And then, so afterwards, we were able to drive to call a Uber for. Oh no, we decided to go somewhere else. True.
Well, so look, we and this is before going to the skate shop. We book a car. No, it's after the skate shop. We book a car finally, but we can only have it in like an hour and a half. So we're like, okay, we'll Uber to go do something else in the meantime. And plus, there was no car rental that made sense nearby. No. Also didn't make sense for us when we wanted to bring it back afterwards. So we're like, okay, let's Uber somewhere else and do something, and then we'll pick up the car afterwards. So we Ubered to the top of Griffith Observatory to go just see the city, kind of just the skyline. I don't know how you would call it, but just the overview of LA at night with all the lights, and just to have a cool view of the place. So we show up there, few stories there. Oh, yeah, but just because we're going on super long. So we can talk about the cab driver, but.
Oh, no, but I don't have much to say. I just want to say that I mentioned Endgame as I'm in the plane. That's what I'm watching with the with the famous moment of like, the I am Iron Man moment with Robert Downey Jr. And then the Uber driver was this dude who did like a lot of bodyguard contracts and stuff. And he was talking about Robert Downey Jr., which I thought was pretty. I was just like, dude, I was watching Endgame. So that was that. He was super chill, by the way. Very funny, like he
talked our ear off. We can say
it would be me as a Uber driver, like 100% sure. Like that would be exactly the service I would give, probably. So just wanted to say that the Robert Downey, he talked about like 50 different celebrities that he had in his car, and he did like 50 jobs. But
he likes to boast about the people he knew. I'll put it that way.
There we go. We knew his entire life of encounters, probably in that. But at least it was positive. It wasn't someone.
It was a chill dude ultimately. But yeah.
So we got there. It was gorgeous. I'm just gonna say that though, like very sick. Like all the lights from LA and stuff. Like it was great. That part was super sick. And you talked about it quite a bit before. Like even before LA, you told me I would like to go to that place, right?
Well, just because it's like one of the ways. There are other lookout spots, but I just felt like whether it be that one or another one, I just felt like it would be a cool thing for us to be able to kind of just see the scope of the city. You know, as opposed to just being like in the streets, and you can kind of see like what it looks like, or when you're driving and stuff. But like, what a crazy first couple's vacation. Yep.
There was so many people there. It
was like probably really tame though compared to normal. I'll just say that.
Probably. But somehow, since it was like late, I kind of in my mind I was like, oh, there's gonna be like a few. There was people, like kind of a lot of people. And I think that leads us to what I'm about to say, right? Like there's
the battery and what you're going to say. Yeah.
Okay. So for first time, because there's going to be a couple of times that people are just for no reason mean with me, during that trip.
With Yan specifically.
With me specifically, Dom didn't have to go through anything. People were just mean with me for no reason, as I would be polite. It happened quite a lot during the trip. Don't even know why. This was the first time. So the battery thing is simply because Dom had his camera, and we wanted a picture with LA, just us and then
something,
LA.
Something iconic LA photo of Yan and I that we could have as a souvenir.
And then obviously I just hear Dom saying like shit, and then I look at his camera and it's the little icon of the battery's dead, and he's like, of course it never happens to me.
It's at the Airbnb.
Yep. So
the
no
battery
way.
was dead, not because I had taken photos or videos all trip. I had zero pictures in that. I had forgotten to turn off my camera sometime, and it just drained the battery.
Yep. So now we're just like, well, so we do little videos with our phones, and I should have sent you a couple of videos I did, because in my mind you took pictures, but I forgot about the battery thing. I think you did though with your phone, so you might have. I
got a few here, but it's kind of looks like Android photos if we're being real.
Yeah, even mine was just like, it was still. I mean, gives an idea.
This is where we're at.
Okay, so just for context,
we're basically taking this picture.
Yeah, tons of people taking pictures everywhere. It's important for the context. Tons of people taking pictures everywhere. I'm with Dom. He's taking that picture. I'm to his right, and I'm just making like a little video.
But wait. I'm here, literally probably taking this picture. There's a big ass fucking garbage can, and then Yan is on the other side of this big ass ugly garbage can.
I'm trying to just make a little video, like everybody's doing, like Dom is doing. I feel someone just grabbing my shirt. I don't know if I told you that detail, but it's by the shirt. And I love when people go in my personal space. No, I don't. It's one of the things that I hate. I love people in general. I'm kind with people. Don't go in my space. I hate that. Unless you know me, never do that shit. And I feel like someone grabbing by the shirt. So I'm just turning, and it's this girl, and she's like, "Excuse me, we're trying to take a picture here." And I'm just like, and I look back and I see, I think there were maybe like a family or something. Mm-hmm. There's like 4 or 5 people. And I remember thinking, like, I was so in shock of just someone being mean for no reason that I had usually I have a good repartee. Like, I'm good at like coming up. And I was just like, and I was so tired. I was just like, oh, okay.
I give up.
Okay. Like, be mean if you want, but and you heard her tone, right?
Yeah, and also you didn't like show up in the background of their photo. No. You were already taking a picture. Yeah. They showed up in front of, like, behind you, and then pulled it.
Yeah. Just like we're already there, like way before them, and we're facing there, like we don't see them at all.
And again, I cannot stress this enough. You are hiding the garbage can.
Yep.
You moving out of the way means they're taking a picture of the garbage can instead.
They prefer the garbage can than me in the background is what happened. So like he heard like her tone. It was really like, I'm not exaggerating, like really just almost insulted, yeah. Like, excuse me, like pissed off for me not even knowing that they're about to do that. And mind you, I have my phone, I'm filming a video. I'm just like this, like I don't even know there's people, and excuse me, we're trying to take a picture here. And I'm just like, my face is just like, the hell, like how would I know that? Like how could I possibly know that? So that was my first person being mean for nothing. I think it was the first one. Mm-hmm. I had a couple. I think it was the first one. So we laugh it off, like basically everything that happened during the trip. And that's one of my favorite things. Dom orders the Uber, which, by the way, was right at the limit. If we would have waited a few minutes, we were stuck there. Just for context. So they were closing everything. So it would have fit the trip, sure, but it would have sucked. So Dom calls the Uber, and as the Uber, Brian, I'm noticing that you either watch the show or my channel. Do you expect me to say anything right? So we order the Uber. And then Uber, yeah. And it's cooler to say Uber. I'm going to keep saying Uber. It sounds cooler to me.
It rolls better off the tongue.
Uber, boom, prefer that. And you guys never heard people from Quebec, and it shows. So you heard one, but yeah, there you go. Ginge is giving me the Uber thing. So calls the Uber, and then I'm calling him Ginge since the beginning. I'm pretty sure.
Ginge, like ginger.
No, it's Ginge. So there we go. Don't ever change. Thank you, Mazda. Mazda's supporting me.
Don't never change.
The goat is supporting me with all due respect.
There we go.
So here we go.
Mama and Yuffie, that's why I love it. Yeah, that checks out.
Right after Dom is called the Uber and it's too late, he's like, Yan, the Hollywood sign was right there that we wanted to see. The famous Hollywood sign. And we went past it. And we were right there. And it's too late. So that was another thing. I was like, oh, of course, For what it's worth, if we had decided to go to see that, we would have been stuck.
Probably been stuck. Yeah, 1000%. So
there's that. But that we just left, right? Mm-hmm, and then I'm gonna let you say it, but we took a Uber, whatever, with a crazy person. So you can tell if you want.
I don't even I don't even remember much about him being crazy outside of just simply the fact that he was crazy. I know he was trying to bypass traffic, and then he would go full speed and brake last second, even though it was very obvious that this car is not going to be able to merge in by the time we get there. He was just
He
kind
was
of
accelerating
Yeah.
in moments that people would brake and there was no space left. He would go faster. Like, I remember looking at them like, we're dying probably.
Yeah.
Like, we might die right now. And he looked nothing, like no stress, just pushing through. And when I tell you that he was this close to cars, like tons of times I was like, oh, we're crashing in it. And he just like, I think it was a bit pissed that he had to like go where we were, and then because it was traffic.
Yeah, I mean, where we were to get there and back is probably, to be fair, probably like not worse.
One of the worst.
Yeah, like not worse than going to LAX, but like at the same time, it is what it is, right? Like they can say no to it.
You still accepted it.
You accepted it, yeah.
Maybe you know what I think happened though? He didn't expect, like he took it, but then as we're driving back, there was maybe way more traffic than he thought.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it took a while, and he got pissed, and then he started driving like crazy. That's my because I saw even like his face kind of changed when he saw like all the cars, and he tried going in places that he couldn't. I was like, okay, he's just freaking pissed. So crazy driver, but
we get to the
made
car. We get to the car. It is past 10 p.m. It took a full 12 plus hours to reel in, calling the company, and you know, mind you, the mishap happened the night before at 10 p.m. the night before. So we basically didn't have a car for 24 hours during our 3-day trip in LA. But lo and behold, we have a car finally. Simple pickup. It was fine. Kind of, you know, smelled like piss where we picked it up, but once we were in, it was all good.
It smelled, like really bad.
Yeah, we take the car, we go back to our Airbnb at this point. We know we've got to get up early the next day. And so this became our ritual. It wasn't a ritual the first day because there was only one day, but it became the ritual to kind of wind down at the Airbnb and order some Uber Eats to end the night.
Said it right.
So we end up getting, what was it? Was it Fat Burgers?
50 billion nuggets, yes, is what we took. For no reason.
We both bought a bunch of chicken. I'm a sauce guy, for anyone who doesn't know me. Me and my fast food addiction. I like dipping my shit in sauce. I bought spicy chicken nuggets and had no sauce with it. And then I tried, the only sauce we had left over from the day before was like hot sauce. But I forgot I ordered spicy nuggets, so I put hot sauce on my spicy nuggets and took my first bite and was kind of surprised by the whole thing. But nonetheless, we were so fucking tired that night.
Oh my god. Started laughing like crazy.
I haven't belly laughed that hard in a long time, just going through all the random shit we had gone through.
I think that's when we started to kind of reminisce on a lot of stuff. And that's when I said the thing, like, it reminds me of Mexico when we arrived. Like, we start just thinking about everything that happened, and we couldn't even, like, I was crying. You know, like, just felt great, but at the same time, it's like we're so tired because
that's why, right? Like, we were so exhausted that anything we were bringing up from the trip was the most hilarious thing to us ever. And in hindsight, actually, all that stuff actually funny, but we were dying, and we classically went to bed later than we should have. Wake up finally the next day, and the next day, the Saturday, is like, this is our big day.
Pause. For absolutely no reason whatsoever, I don't know why we thought about that. But for context, super old story. There was this interview, and I know maybe you don't want to say it's like too funny not to mention that.
I don't care.
Brian
I just don't want to harp on that for a half hour. Is the only thing.
No, it won't be too long. Too long. Brian Stars was this like, I'm even going to say sensation during like 2010, 11. He would interview bands with the most random stuff that you've never heard in your life. He would have like Slipknot and he would be like, what would be your porn star name? Like weird interviews. And he was this odd guy with like a blue shirt, and he didn't, you know what I mean? Like,
he was like a preppy dude. He was like a preppy dude interviewing all the scene bands, and it was really fucking awkward. He felt very out of place, and his questions were completely fucking random, which in one sense was a part of the allure, but in the other, a lot of bands were like, what the fuck is this?
And he had like the biggest like fall and what it ended up terribly. But we start talking about like random weird moments about that and how it made no sense and how awkward it was. And we're even more tired at this point. So like we spent like, we're supposed to sleep. It's the podcast the next day, to the show the next day. And I'm pretty sure we spent like an hour and a half of precious sleep to talk about that. So I wanted to add that.
Yes, sir. There we go. So we end up sleeping. We wake up the next day. We have, this was, I mean, the whole trip was based around the Saturday, because the Saturday was we initially booked the trip to go see Elysia. That was the one thing we set out to do. I bought tickets on a whim. The second they popped out, I was refreshing the page. I managed to get 2 tickets, and I called up Yan. I was like, how are you with planes? Would you want to go to LA with me? and
little did I know the problem it was with cars.
So we planned everything around that, and then the Garza thing, I was talking to Garza and let him know that that we were coming down, and his thing is close to Chain Reaction, where he records out of and all that. So he invited us to do that too. So that was kind of a bit of a surreal thing for us. So the morning of, we just wake up and we know that we've got Garza Podcast in the morning at like 11, and then we've got the show later on that night.
One of my favorite things of the entire trip is about to happen. So
well, I'll let you set the scene for pre Garza.
Okay, so this morning though, everything is fine. I mean, we take the car. We have a car after so freaking long. Thank you, Mazda, by the way, saying that. Well, thank you, kind of. No, but
thank you, but also fuck you.
It's kind of thank you, but at the same time, some of those things were horrible. So we drive, weirdly, not much traffic, which is rare. So goes pretty well. Arrive there, find a parking because we wanted a coffee before Garza just to wake up and stuff like that. So we park and there's a spot. You've got something prior to that?
No. I'm gonna pull up some photos. I just realized I have photos.
Okay. Yeah. So we park. There's a spot. I mean, okay, so I'm going to try being like this. So we park, and right here is 2 other spots, not 1, 2 spots, just right there.
In front of us.
In front of us. I see a van, right? And trying to park in, positioning itself for a parallel park. But just for context, if this is the van and this is the park car that she's trying to align, and she's trying to go here, instead of being straight, she's already like this. And I'm like, well, I look at Dom and I'm like, I'm staying here. and I'm watching her park because there's no way we're dealing again with Turo and something. And this was her attempt for the longest time. This is for 20 minutes. And she's like that.
This is the
whole
closest
time.
she got to parking.
Yes. For 20 minutes. And by the way, we're about to be late. Like, just for context.
We're out here like she doesn't know left from right. She doesn't know forward from backward. We're gonna stand here and make sure she doesn't back up into our car.
And for context also, I'm really like, I'm right there. Like, it's not like I'm watching from a distance. Like, look, you see my end in his picture. Did you see it? You see my in the other picture.
Oh, yeah. And the other one, your arm is there. But yeah, you're right there.
I'm right. Like, she's trying to park. I'm like 3 meters, like fixing her. Like, just like, don't you dare. That freaking
Brian is saying
car.
The foresight to take the pic is why you are pros, but this was not for the storytelling. This was for the proof in case anything happened to the car.
And also because it was funny, but
so like eventually there's a car a few cars back that ends up leaving. It's like on the corner of the street, so there is no parallel parking to be done. It's literally you just pull up and you're there. So we tell her, we're like, yo, just go to that spot. It's free and it's gonna be hassle free. You just pull up to it, it'll be fine. She never goes. We sit there another 5 minutes. She's like laughing. She's got a dog on her lap. I don't know what the fuck is going on. So at a certain point, we're like, fuck it, we'll bring our car to the corner of the road. Not the biggest fan of it, but we were, again, literally just here to go into a coffee shop for 2.5 minutes, grab coffee, and get the fuck out. So we're just like, okay, we'll go to the corner. And what we're looking at right now is her attempt with our car gone. This is 3 cars deep here. It kind of doesn't show because the image is like zoomed in, so like compresses or whatever. There are 3 parking spots. 3 cars can fit in this slot right here, and this is her attempt right now to try and parallel park. And I swear she ended up making it
after we left, so she had 3 spots to park, right?
And the beauty of it all is she ended up being able to park, but she ends up parking herself like a half foot away from the white truck in front of her in this photo. And another car ended up parking just as close to her behind her.
So she's stuck there.
There's no way she's ever getting out.
She couldn't park when she had 3 spots in parallel. And now she has, I'm not kidding you, even someone who's good at driving, which obviously she's not, would have a hard time maybe. Like, it was really close. Like, even someone who's a very good driver it would take a long time to just back up. And clearly she's gonna go on the other side maybe. I'm pretty sure she slept there.
She will be off onto the sidewalk before she gets back onto the road, for sure.
Yes. I'm pretty sure. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not kidding. I wouldn't be surprised if she stayed for the night when she saw that. Like, she probably stayed there. Like, there's no way I can get out. So yeah. So and again, we're about to go to Garza. It's like she took away the 25-30 minutes we had like to spare to just like drink our coffee, prepare, like not prepare, but just be like relax a little bit, and then we go in. Like, it was gone. Like, at this point, it's like, okay, it's like in 5 minutes we have to go. So for context.
Yep.
Oh, also another detail we didn't say. The entire time, her daughter, I think she was outside giving instructions on top of it. Like, the parking you saw.
She had someone guiding her this whole time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, the picture you saw that she's like, this was with help. That's where she went. So I thought it was Yeah, the whole trip was seemingly a series of unfortunate events. Yes, that's kind of what it was. That's kind of what it was, with highlights. And look, we're about to say it. So.
I mean, look, for what it's worth, the most of the rest of the day was fine.
Yeah, I mean,
but I mean, so we can get into it. We drive out of there. All good now. Well, wait. We go into the coffee shop. Yan just wants a black coffee.
Oh,
he's asking the cashier. It's like a semi fancy like coffee spot, but it's not like crazy.
Couldn't believe it.
It's not like a crazy spot by any means. It looks pretty normal. And he asked for just a regular black coffee. And they basically say they can't. They don't have that.
I'm like, I'm trying to be polite. I'm like, no, but just black regular coffee, like the most boring coffee. And she's like, I can do this one, but there's cinnamon
I can
and
do
sugar.
A cold brew, cinnamon, sugar, reheated thing.
And I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm asking for the most basic. It's like asking for water in a coffee shop. I'm asking like the most, and I'm like, you know what? Give me your cinnamon, whatever thing. I'm gonna drink that. It's like, she's like, yeah. I'm like, yes, just, on hindsight, I should have taken like just a cold brew at this point, but I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take that. So I take that. Fortunately though, it was really easy to locate and walk in, like where Garza was. It was really easy. Like that wasn't a problem to get there.
And we were right there too, so it was fine.
A minute, like literally a minute away in car. Like when I put the GPS, it's like we're there. I'm like trying to put the address, and when I finally managed to put it, it's like I'm like, turn right, it's here. So it was pretty funny. All right, so Garza, that there won't be a single negative thing to say about that. When we got there, I don't know, for you, it really felt surreal to just, because he's so kind. Like as soon as we enter, Dom is just like, hello. He instantly just, grabs you and he's like, what's up? Like super cool dude. And one of my favorite thing is we got to actually hang out before the show, which was very fortunate because I was really nervous and I was stress talking. So it was a good thing, really good thing. Not in a bad way. I was saying stuff that made sense in the conversation, but I was talking a lot, which is what happened when I'm nervous. And even though he's a super kind person, I mean, it was still unreal to be there. So the coolest dudes, right? Like him, the producer. What's the producer's name again?
Jerry,
I'm so bad.
Jay.
Jerry. Okay, Jay. Amazing. Both so cool. Like it was. I don't know if you have something else, but for me, it was just mind blowing how down to her and chill and laid back. And even Jay was just like, it's cool what you guys are doing. Like so. Like super wholesome interaction with them. Like I don't know, might have been like an hour of just chilling or something.
Yeah, we hung out for an hour before before noon hit, and at noon we started the podcast. But I mean, real quick, it was cool to it's always weird to we've seen the space like on video, right? Like we know what this space looks like, but then to see it in person, and to see like around it, like I've seen some BTS stuff where you kind of see around the room and stuff, but like to see it in person and see what it looks like when you actually walk in, and then the edit bay, and like just like and being on the balcony outside, and all these parts that you don't necessarily usually see, and just to see it in person was like a cool thing to be a part of just for that. And yeah, we got to hang out for an hour prior, and it was cool to just talk, catch up, and ease into it a little bit. And then we kind of sat down, tested microphones real quick, camera stuff, and then we yapped for 2 hours.
Yeah, it was I remember thinking this is unreal. Like when I had like the headphones and take the mic and I look at Chris and he had like a face of, okay, we're like I'm like locking in type thing that he did. And I remember thinking, oh my God, this is it. And I don't know about you, but the weirdest thing for someone as anxious as I am was to be comfortable right away. I really felt like, oh, this is fun. Like usually I get anxious, but I was just like, oh, this is so much fun. Like I just enjoyed it like entirely, like we do with our guests, like that kind of just.
Well, that's the hope, at least, right?
Yeah. So, and he was funny, and I mean, for those who didn't see the episode, I think the funniest thing was me constantly asking, like, can I say stuff like that? And Chris was just like, say whatever you want to. Like, it's a podcast. Stop asking. That part was kind of funny. But
I mean, him asking you how to say your name right off the bat and you replying that you don't know how to say it either was the funniest shit to start a podcast off.
And very on brand with me, I think. So it was perfect. But, and also I just want to say also production, the setup, the way we hear and we can control the sound, like this entire, set is perfect. Like it's just perfect, and you don't see it, but the image that appears when you watch it or like on a big TV. So the entire time we talk, Jay is putting up like all the videos, the context and everything, which really adds to the experience. So I just wanted to say that, because I remember thinking this is cool, like it feels like you hang out with like friends somewhere and you talk about stuff and somebody's just like on their phone showing you like, oh, this. So it was really really cool. So no negatives because with the trip that we had, it would have made sense that something explodes or that it's not like even recording, something like that. But no, it was okay. And we learned right there that the episode would drop on Monday. We didn't know that. We thought it would be later on. And I was like, oh, so just when we come back, like we learned that there. So I think this is it for the experience, right? I think that's basically what happened.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe I forget something, but I think that was.
No, I mean, look, the conversation was had and is available to watch on YouTube.
Yeah, that's it.
So I mean, that's the bulk of our experience is already online for people to see. So but it was. Dude, I mean, come on, like. What?
We made him look short on the picture.
Look, he made himself look short. That's his own thing. But it is we can say here now, like it was for sure, like for us, I don't know, it was like a cool validation thing for us to be able to do it. There was no part of us that even considered for a second the fact that we could be asked to be on the Garza podcast. Like, and even now that it's happened, like Yan and I are, and I think I can speak for you when I say that, like, it doesn't feel like there's a reason for us to have gone on that show. Like in the sense that, yeah, he's had a few content creators on and stuff, but they've all, like, without exception, been musicians. And for the most part, even musicians that, they had Burnt on the other day and he was playing guitar and stuff. He's a guitar YouTuber. Like for content creators and stuff that he's had very few. And the ones that he's had on all play music. So it was, I don't know. It's just, I guess something we never really considered. Nope. And then for him to ask us was one thing, obviously very excited when we found out. But then, for me, it was a little bit of until my feet are in the spot, I didn't really believe it, right? And then to actually do it and to hang out with Chris and to now finally see it out online and all the love that we've been shown throughout it has, I don't know, man. I just, again, I've said this a few times. I said it on socials. I say it in the episode. But for me personally, did music for a long ass fucking time. And I don't think I would have done Garza Podcast with my old band. And I didn't think I'd have anything to do with music in this sort of capacity moving forward ever since I stopped making music. And doing stuff like this is like wild to me, because I never thought that this sort of stuff would happen at this age for me at this point. And whatever like to me, I was past music. I was gone. I was over it. I was like on to other things, right? And doing this podcast that we're doing right now has reconnected me with music in a way that I didn't even doing the podcast. It's been making me reconnect with music and bringing me opportunities like this one that I never thought would be possible or would be a thing or would have a reason to exist. So all that to say that doing something like that and to kind of have the recognition from someone like Chris, he had come onto the show prior, but for us to be invited to do his thing really meant a lot. It was really, really, really cool for us to do.
Yeah, to hear him, like, because he said it during the podcast, but also to us several times outside of it. But like he was saying something to the effect of like, you guys, he kept saying like, you guys deserve this and stuff. To hear, like, you see a lot of noise online and stuff like that, but to hear that dude, Chris, saying that, it's like, it's just undeniable. Like the world tomorrow could say like you don't, and I would be like, well, you know what I mean? Like it was really cool to hear that, and you could tell my favorite part of all of this, he's the exact same dude. There's nothing like you couldn't have more real than that. Like looking at him in real life, like it was bringing me back to like all the Garza episode I was watching and stuff like that. He's the same. Just genuine, cool dude.
There's no persona. It's 1,000% who he is. Well, whatever you see of him is exactly what he is. Yeah.
And I said it in the podcast, but like I meant it when I said like it was important for me when we started this whole thing, because you instantly jumped in and believed in it. I was like, this is going to work, and I want to make sure that he's not regretting, but like that he's like glad that he's a part of it type thing. So for me, during like the podcast was just this kind of milestone. We had several, but like this milestone to me was just like not we made it, but it was cool for me because I was like, we're here with the podcast. So it's hard to explain, but like it meant that it's working very well if we're here type thing,
I'll say this, and this might make me sound like a bit of an asshole or some dude that has an ego, and I swear it is not on some egotistical shit. It is simply an observation. But ever since we dropped that episode, I've had a lot of messages from a lot of people that I haven't heard from in a really long time, or people, people that haven't necessarily taken what I do seriously, all of a sudden in the DM. So that
different, right? It's a bit different. Yeah,
that's all I'll say about it. So, and again, I really don't mean this in like an egotistical way or to come off as an asshole. It's just again, is because it's so easy for me and you to believe in the thing that we're doing and to kind of see a bigger vision and to know where we want to take it and the things that we want to do with it and all these things. But anybody can believe in themselves, right? So it's just cool when you get the validation. And again, it's not even from the people that are DMing me, but from someone like Chris, to again, just to simply bring us on the show, even without any of the other praise that he flew our way, but just to consider us for a show like this.
Yes.
Obviously for us it means something, but then to further my point with people sending in messages, like it's just clearly in the public's eye as well, there was like some there was some validation in us doing the thing, right? So
there was
it's not all in the head.
There was a big like they made it type thing. Mm-hmm. That's what I've noticed. Not like made it like Vegas whatever, but like made it like, oh shit, they're on Garza podcast type of reaction. I had a lot of those, like, oh my god, you guys are there, and so freaking wholesome on socials too. Just real quick, I want to say
that are excited for us for what it's worth. Too. It's not again is
But on the socials and everything, like everybody's just like, oh shit, even like bands that it's cool because most of the guests we had are super stoked for us, which is so cool to see. Like, yes, like I saw Nick Archer, I think on Facebook, like it's seeing that is just, it's the proof that it feels like we're building with people. They're as stoked as we are. And it's really cool to see. And it's going to fit well with the next segment. We're going to get into In and Out. But to me, when we're going to talk about the show, this was a big highlight for me. And it's going to sound like I'm going to talk about ego, but there was a lot of, oh shit, like what's happening at the show. But we're going to get there. So unless I'm wrong, In and Out was right after. Well, no. Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, dude, we got out of there. We had not eaten breakfast. We had coffee in our veins. We were hyped as fuck from just doing the Garza podcast. And at that point, we had not had In and Out yet. And we were leaving the next day. So we needed our In and Out fix.
There was no way that we
There was no way we weren't going
just
to.
For context.
And we were in Anaheim, which I was happy for because we weren't going to be in an overly ridiculously placed and overcrowded LA In and Out spot. So we were in Anaheim, found a spot that was super close to where we were at, not a far drive. And now we're going to have to discuss what we think of In and Out.
Okay.
First things first, the cashier immediately recognizes that we are not from here.
It's my fault. It's my fault.
In the way that we're trying to order, in the way we're looking at the menu.
I lived kind of the office moment, ultimately just caused by me. But like Dom, we enter the place, right? And there's kind of a little lineup to order. And Dom is just like, oh, I'm going to go to the bathroom and then I'm going to come back. But the thing is, I'm right there. The lineup is gone because everybody's paid. And Dom he didn't come back. I don't know what he wants. And he has the card. So I'm just standing there. And one of the cashiers just like, hello. And I'm like, hi, I'm just gonna look a little bit, and he's like,
you could have just said my boy's in the bathroom.
I should have. And then I see his face because like you can order like 3 things there, like it's really simple. And I'm like, I'm just gonna look, and right after saying like I'm just gonna look, I understand that I look stupid because I look at the menu and it's written burger, cheeseburger, double cheeseburger, something like that. There's like 3 options. And I'm like, oh God. Like, and honestly, guys, it took a while. Like I'm saying that like it was 2 minutes. Like it was like 5-6 minutes of just me standing there, and they're kind of looking at me, but at the same time, they're just waiting for me to be ready. And then went out of the back, and I'm like, okay, so we can order. And I think they realized at that time, but I really completely gave away that we're clearly not from here. So she's instantly like, oh, it's your first time. And yes, that was pretty funny.
And gives us the hats and the whole thing.
Okay, so I don't know if there's a part of my appreciation that was super hungry. Could be part of it, sure. But tons of people told me In and Out, it's kind of mid. It was insane, like really good, like really good. Like you have every right to think that. I didn't. To me, it was insane, like really good. Burgers, the fries were good as well. Like it was all really good. Like nothing for me in that was like mid. Like nothing. It was really good.
For context, we had the burgers animal style and we had the fries animal style. Because that changes it. Because it would have been different, like sauce and all that stuff. The fries would have been just normal fries.
Which I still don't understand why it's called animal. I still don't get it.
Don't ask me. I didn't look into the lore, but
okay, but yeah, so insane. Like
so what's a rating out of 10? Let's say
a solid 8.5, maybe for me.
8.5 out of 10.
Yeah,
Okay.
10, but just for context, I would give a 10 so far only to the steak and egg place. So just for context,
Yeah, okay,
we're talking about fast food.
Let's compare with other
Fast foods,
burger places.
okay,
What would it be like on par with, let's say, from like a burger chain standpoint? Or is it better than everything?
it's not better. There's one. I'm trying to think about all the burgers that I've ate. It's far superior than pretty much any fast food that we have here. The only comparison, and I don't think it's a fair one, it's called Bâton Rouge here, which is like really
no. That's not fast food. That's like
no, but it's a burger.
Yeah, but it's a legit restaurant. No. We're talking fast foods. Fast food.
It would be
chain.
top. Fast food, it would be top for me.
Like Five Guys? Someone's mentioning Five Guys.
It's hard for me to say Five Guys.
Similar-ish vibe.
I remember really liking but it's been too long. Last time I had Five Guys was like 5 years ago or something. So it's hard for me to, in that sense. But probably, if not the best, one of the best for sure.
Like it's better. It's better than McDonald's,
by far.
Wendy's, Harvey's.
Yep. Easy. Easy. Really easily. Wendy's is really good for what it's worth. But like it's not, Wendy's isn't far behind. McDonald's to me is complete shit now, like garbage. But like I tried a couple of other times
because the fries at In-N-Out are basically McDonald's fries.
I love McDonald's fries though. But
well, there we go.
But every single time I tried there was extremely disappointing in terms of burgers and stuff. It's somehow smaller, bland, and not as good as it used to. And I was disappointed every single time. Every time I tried, is there like an earthquake here?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. Your camera's bugging the fuck out. What's going on?
There's nothing going on. Like, what the fuck is going on? But yeah, no, In-N-Out for me was insane. Like, incredible, you know. But Wendy's wouldn't be super far, to be fair, behind. But McDonald's is like in the garbage.
I think to me that there's like another category.
And Tim Hortons isn't even part of the conversation. Just so we're clear, Tim Hortons is the worst thing like ever, like out of any fast foods.
No burgers, but I'll accept. I would
refuse a sponsor from them. Like they would say we could sponsor, and I would be like, no, you don't. So I said my piece.
There's like the last thing I'll say about In-N-Out. I guess there's like a difference for me between like stuff like Five Guys, In-N-Out, Whataburger. There's like these spots that very clearly don't necessarily have like and maybe I'm wrong on some of these, but they feel like they aren't. They don't have like the meat is like more fresh, as opposed right, like as opposed to like McDonald's. It's frozen meat, right? And but all of these, like Wendy's is like this, Harvey's is like this, McDonald's is like this. Like,
all of them.
There's like a, to me, two categories. There's like hey, good night, Brian. There's like a category of like, it's like shitty fast food, and then there's just a little bit better fast food, you know. So Whataburger meat is never frozen, so that Whataburger is another.
I didn't try that, so
Cookout I feel is like that too. Like there's just and I know for sure like Five Guys isn't frozen either.
I remember thinking it's good, by the way, Five Guys. I remember thinking it was really good.
Yeah, so I
really
think,
fat, but
I think those are the kind of burger places that have to be kind of pit one up against each other. But to be fair,
the sauce, I'm not even a sauce person, and I liked it. Like, just for context, I put like I think it's an important thing to mention. All the Ubers, did you see anything that I've ordered that had sauce in it, even in my burgers?
You took out all the sauce.
So, and I loved it in In-N-Out. I think that says a lot too.
I ordered for you, and I was like, oh shit, maybe the sauce thing wasn't the correct.
No, but in my mind, I'm like, I cannot try it without like it's part of trying it. So I did, as opposed to like Wendy's, which I mean, there's nothing. It would have been like mayo or something, but there, and it was really good. And as you said, super good. Like it was perfect. I was hungry. It was just great. No aftertaste, just awesome, you know, like, and who knows, maybe the fact that people told me a lot, like, oh, it's not that good. Maybe my expectation, I don't know.
Were low, yeah.
I don't know. But to me, instant first bite, I was like, oh, okay. Like far superior to any, you know, other. Super random. Just want to ask you, did you ever try a burger from Bâton Rouge? Just curious.
No, I haven't. I've probably been there like once or twice ever.
Oh,
actually, I take that back. Maybe I have, but it's been so fucking long. I don't remember.
Because just for context, like burger, I didn't, same for as you, by the way.
But it's a high-end restaurant burger. I hope it's good.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it really is. Like, really. Well, it tastes like what you would do probably on the barbecue, like that kind of burger. But except that, I think for me, because you asked the question, I think In-N-Out would be top, because I'm trying to think about the fast foods. I think it would be top for me. Yeah, it used to be Wendy's, but they changed a lot. When I was younger, it was like super squared and really good. Like I remember like how they changed the formula. It's still good. Changed the formula. But yeah, no, In-N-Out was really insane. Like really good. I would have maybe take a second one, but it would have been, I'm not hungry, and it's just because it was good. But I don't regret it because I was full. I was really full, so I'm glad I didn't. I didn't tell you, but I was like, sometimes I was looking, I was like, do I take another? And I was like, dude, you're not hungry. It was just good. Because animal styles, the fries and everything, it's, you know, it was a lot. Then it was going to the parking of the show, right?
It was the show, yeah. Let's just to preface, we met so many people. Let's not make this a name drop fest. Just because we could name people for a half hour. Cool,
I only have few specific stuff, but I couldn't possibly say everything. It's impossible.
Yeah. So impossible. With that in mind, we met a lot of really cool people. But yeah, we got there a bit early because it was, I don't know, it was like 3:30, 4 o'clock tops.
Yeah.
So we got there, and immediately the dudes in Reverent were there. And In Which Divides Us were there shortly after too, so we got to hang out for a bit with them.
Which is, I think it's important for me to mention, because my favorite encounter and hangout was with Josh. I think it's Josh, right? His name Josh, for Reverend. Instantly
vocalist of
Reverend. Instantly came to us, super kind. Just like first thing he says, he looks at me. I didn't even say hello, and he's like, I've been watching your channel for a long time. I'm like, shit, like I've been watching you perform, I guess, you know, like what the fuck. And he talked with us for a while. Like we talked with him for a long time.
He probably talked to the most, right?
And by far, I talked to him almost the entire time. And the whole time too, the reason why I'm shouting out Josh, the entire time, every single time we needed something, it was like, oh, I could get you guys some water. Oh, I could give you guys. He tried to make this like, you know, as comfortable as we could. I think he said thanks like 50 times. Like, I cannot believe you guys are gonna watch us performing. And so it was important for me to, well, everybody was super nice, but Josh, like specifically, I think I spent like half of my time there with Josh. I thought it was important. Yeah, with the earthquake, my cam was
yeah, I just moved you to the side. It's chill.
So shout out Josh. That goes without saying. Also a beast of a vocalist and a frontman. Insane. Absolutely insane. But okay, so before explaining the show and everything, the closest I've ever felt as someone who's known, or like quote unquote celebrity, or someone online, because like I told you afterwards, but not only did we get so many people from the podcast, but even when you were watching the show and I was going in places, I'm not kidding you, a good other 25 people maybe. Like, just, I watched your channel. Oh my God. I tried to compliment someone with a Waking a Cadaver shirt, and the dude next to him is like, hey, I watched your like the whole time. I was like, oh wow, we took pictures with people. People were really kind. It was, for us, it was just the closest you can get to something like that, like to be quote unquote known and go to a place. Like, all the bands were really stoked. I really enjoyed talking to Zach from Elysia. Like, really enjoyed. He's a really funny person. He took time prior to the show. Didn't do any sound check whatsoever. During that time, he just talked to us. Really cool dude. So for me, that's pretty much the big lines. It's like everybody was really kind. We took pictures, like nothing negative. I know our whole trip stuff happened.
It was hot as fucking hell, dude.
It was really hot. But except that,
and you look, we'll talk about the show itself, because there's stuff that happened during the show.
Bands are performing, they're great, right? Like, there's nothing, like, all the bands were good. My mind was blown during Reverend and In Which, like, both incredible. But how we were placed was that Dom was in the complete front the entire time of the show. Like, when I say front, he's like in the corner front. There's no one in front of him.
I'm touching the stage. Yeah.
He's on this. Yeah, exactly. Boom. He's right in the front. But me, I'm like, you know what? Go and enjoy it from a distance. I don't want to be there. So I was, I don't know.
Context is that the pit was pretty fucking rowdy.
Yeah.
And increasingly more rowdy the more the bands progressed.
A lot of crowd killing too, quite a lot. I would like to say not a lot, but quite a lot of crowd killing. So I'm like, buy big dudes, and I'm like, there's no way that the trip is ending with me not watching half the bands and going to the hospital. Let's not finishing like that. So I would have been maybe a bit more reckless here, right? Because we're here and it's like, but there I'm like, no. Because I thought about it 3-4 times. Because I used to, I was like, Jan, this is your intrusive thought. You stay right there. So I didn't. Fortunately, I would have died probably. So I'm kind of in the middle. I'm like 2 rows, and then there's the pit. So it's just okay to be comfortable. But then I think towards the end of Reverend, Josh is just like inviting people, like, just come closer. And some people do, not a lot, but some people do. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. So I'm going right next to Dom and another super chill dude that we talk with. And we finished, I think Reverend had like 1 song left. That's when I took the video, which made me look like I was there the whole time, which was okay. I wasn't. I was terrified. So finished the set. Poor Josh. I talked to Josh forever. He has to leave the stage. Dom tells me that after. I'm like, yes. To be fair, he seemed happy that I was like, your set was so sick. So then it's Elysia. And of course, during the sound check, we talk a little bit, seemed fine. The more they're doing the sound check, though, the more people are coming. Like, there's people that were not there the entire, like, they're coming from that, and the room is trying.
This venue was over capacity.
Oh, for sure. 1000% sure. And as we're talking, and I'm in the front, I'm like I see how many people, and I'm like, was that a mistake, you know? And I'm like, you know what? Dom was there the entire time, and it was kind of chaotic for a while. I'm like, should be fine. So I'm right next to Dom. I'm not kidding. They just start. Like, literally, he's like, what's up? This band is Elysia. Starts the song. I think the second person crowd surfing did some sort of front flip, and his foot right in my face. And I'm next to a wall, and I put my, you know, you protect yourself a little bit. even then it goes like this, and like I got it in the face after 1 second of being there, and In Which Divides Us just gave me a CD of theirs, dropped the CD, and as I'm getting hit, I see someone just crushing the CD, just walking on it, and it exploded everywhere. I look at Dom and I'm like, I'm out. Like, I'm going back in the back, you know, which the irony, you told me that it didn't really happen afterwards at that specific spot.
B, I have no clue that you got knocked in the face, lost the CD, all these things. All I know is that I turn around and you're like, nah, I'm out of here. Fuck this shit. And you leave. But I thought it was like because you didn't want something to happen.
Nope.
I didn't know it had already happened.
Yep. And you know what? I swear to God. I had time while he was front flipping to think to myself, oh, for sure. I'm like, I had time to be like, oh, I'm getting, yeah, it's this, the moment, of course, it's going to happen. And I've seen crowd surfing, but he really went like, it's a kick in while surf. Like, it's like you crowd surf, but you also hit. It was like.
To me too, though, like for context as well, we were both like backs to the wall of the side of the venue. So for someone to hit Yan in the face, they basically have to be jumping into the wall.
Yes.
Right? Like there's no other, like
he crashed afterwards, by the way.
Crashed into the wall for sure.
I was just like, fuck, man. Like, and I'm not one of those who, you know, like gets upset. Like, it's part of I knew being there, right? Like I wasn't upset at that person. It was more of a for sure that happened. Of course, that checks out.
It was a weird thing because during all the other bands, the mosh pit went all the way to the front of the stage, like no front row of people. Like the people were donkey kicking off of the actual stage itself. The stage isn't that high. So but when Elysia went on, it was completely different. Like there was a row of maybe 5-6 people before the pit, and all of a sudden you had people jumping off the stage and doing all this stuff. There was a pit still, but it was a smaller pit. It was more contained and it was like further back. So just the vibe of how the pit was being dealt with was just wildly different from all the sets prior to now Elysia's set. So it was like, I don't know, it was a weird thing. And as you mentioned, like I maybe got hit once, and by hit I mean like someone came really like in my face, but I was able to block it type of thing. With where I was at, I was like a little bit more shielded because I was like literally like more up front, and there was like a big dude filming that was right in front of me on the stage, so you couldn't even really like jump from there all that much. And again, if you were going into me or you'd have to be jumping into the wall. So for my part, it was mostly fine, right? It was more so just being squished from like everyone kind of just being like moving to the front, which is just like a show thing, right?
Which for me would have been fine.
Yeah.
I was expecting that.
Yeah.
Not a kick after 30 seconds. It was 20 seconds.
Not even,
I didn't even watch like one song from Elysia. That's like I had to leave like like they finished the song. And then I went to the back. And when I arrived, I was next to the pit. And I remember thinking, because a really tall guy, I think he was probably like 6'6" or something, like really tall and really buff, just went right next to me, kind of a wall before the pit. And I remember thinking, this is perfect. That's if someone go past him, it's like I'm the most unlucky person in the world. I don't think he would even feel it. And by the way, he went moshing and I was like, oh my God, I wouldn't like to be there. Like a really, obviously if you're tall and super buff, it's like, but the rest of the show was super sick. I mean, like Elysia, when they started Incinerate though, I told that to many times that night. Something happened. Like when they started this specific song, I was teleported to the back. Like the pit was like 4 times bigger. Everybody, like the first breakdown in the song and the end it was cool to see though, because that's what you want. Like, but the end was just it was chaos everywhere.
But it was an absolute movie from start to finish. Like we're talking about like stage diving and stuff. Like I didn't get hit, there were stage divers from the entire beginning to the end of the set. Yes. People were singing the lyrics from the beginning to the end. Maybe a song or two that people knew them a little less, but for the most part, every single song, there were at least like large portions of the songs that everyone was singing along and shit. So it was,
and even where I was close to the pit, but more in the back. Even people there were kind of jumping and headbanging. Yeah. Like usually people are just like standing. I barely saw like people with their phones around me. Like I'm not saying there wasn't. I'm just saying compared to a lot of stuff that I saw, not many. Some people would clip little thing, but they would instantly go back. Like it was cool to see. Like people were focused on what was happening. So great, great freaking show. And Zach, I mean, like what the fuck? Honestly,
he's a great frontman too. Just
really good. Yeah.
Talking to the crowd and how he's interacting and getting into the crowd for people to gang chant and all this stuff.
And he has that. Cool. Parkway Drive thing in which he smiles when you see how people are crazy, which I like personally. Like he had not the whole time, but a few moments that he kind of almost laughed looking at what was happening.
You've got that more in hardcore. There's like a little bit less of a serious thing than fucking deathcore and death metal bands, right? Yes. And it's kind of just like you look at a pit going fucking wild and you're like, hell yeah. You know,
he did that a couple of times, right? So I thought that was cool, and also the chemistry within the band was cool to see as well. So they just like professional level bands, and I know I said it, but like, and I love Elysia, but the thing with Elysia is that I knew it would be insane, and not to say that I didn't know about Reverend, but watching how, I don't know how to explain it, but it was like a highlight for me, like watching them performing. Maybe it's also because it's specifically what I like in terms of deathcore. That might be that as well. But it's so fucking sick to watch. All, like I'm saying that all the bands like In Witch, like they just really killed it. Like but
I agree with you. I mean, Reverend were kind of on another level, and Elysia was just like. To me, Elysia was kind of crazy because it felt like they were people who never stopped playing shows together. Exactly. Like when it comes to the chemistry, when it comes to performing the songs, when it comes to being professionals on stage, like it felt like they never left. Like it was, I don't know, very, very, very truly cool, very cool show.
But Reverend, though, they were bringing me back to the times where we would watch Chelsea Grin headbanging all the guitar players together. Like there's the stage presence of Reverence is like, for me, in the entire revival, I would say by far the best for me. So it was really cool to see, and Josh on stage reminded me of the Destruction of a Statue video. Like the way he's like walking around and just like hitting his vocals, everything. I told him
all
several
over the place,
times,
going jumping back and forth on stage and stuff. He's like super active and moving around. Yeah.
Didn't stop a second.
He's got it, man. That whole band.
And he's 16.
They get it. Yeah, Josh 16. That's fucking wild, dude.
I mean, what the fuck? 16, and that's where your game is at 16. Like,
we hung out with 16-year-olds all day. That's what we were doing.
That's what we did. That's kind of what we did.
I don't know how that makes us feel, but
that's what Zach was telling me too. He's like, feels old back there, But yeah, no, absolutely insane. Very wholesome. Also, the interaction, because we talked about people taking pictures, but our interactions with the bands, like every single band on that lineup, except maybe the hardcore one, because we don't know a lot about these guys.
I didn't talk to Smoke.
Great performance though, but but all the bands were so kind and happy that me and Dums were there. It was insane. Like all genuinely just, I can't believe you guys are here, including Elysia with Zach and everything. The kindest, like all super wholesome. And after the show, it was cool to talk with. Yeah, exactly. Austin, love that dude. Austin, all those dudes, honestly, so kind. I mean, I'm so bad with names, but the long hair, like with long hair, right
Noah.
next to you, Noah. My God, like funny, nice, like all those dudes. Insane. Austin, probably the freaking kindest person ever. Like just like super nice. And I saw their face because I told them that it was my favorite set and stuff. Like just no other words. Like just super kind and sweet. So for us, it was very needed to have the Garza podcast and then this after all the trip that we had. I'm just going to say that it was the reward of everything to have this. I don't have negatives about, like, fortunately, it was just awesome the whole time. All the pictures in which, and by the way, thanks to In Which, because even when my CD was broken, I have another one.
There we go.
So they gave another one. So thank you for that, because clearly you cannot leave me in the front with a CD. That's something that and for, by the way, also I choose to go in the front when I have a CD in my hands, and that's another thing. Like, I didn't have a CD prior to that, and the second I have one, I'm going to go in the front.
I'm just gonna say it. I had a CD in my hands too.
Yeah, but did you notice that on that trip people were mean to me?
To you specifically.
So that was going to happen. If one of us was about to get hit by it would have been me for sure. So the story, by the way, people, is almost over, but there's still some good stuff left.
Let's. I mean, look, the rest of the night, you know, we headed back to the Airbnb. We got some Uber Eats once again. I don't even remember what we had, but honestly, that's when we had a Fat Burger. I don't remember what the other place was called. The Fat Burger was when I had chili dogs. And you had
still always
you had a chicken burger too. Yeah, anyways,
three times I think.
That's besides the point. The next day we have to take the airplane. It's not as early as the other time, but we have to bring the car back to where we rented it, and then we have to take an Uber to the airport, and then we got to do everything over there. Head into the plane. Most of the rest of our story basically happens on the plane. And
it starts as we're waiting. The first thing we
okay. But you know what? I'm gonna let you do the yapping for on this one, because you have a great perspective, I feel, on everything that happened, and you got the worst of it. So
somehow, because I think it's important in the story. Before going this entire trip, me and Dom, for no reason, every time we're about to go to sleep, had a random topic. And this time...
Yeah, but we had a whole segment on the Garza podcast where we talk about Theo Von.
Oh, it's even worse, right? Yeah.
So we talk about Theo Von on the Garza podcast. So before going to bed... We're yapping off, and then we start to talk about Theo Von, and we talk about guests that mostly I've seen him do, and I tell him about the Mark Zuckerberg episode that he does with Theo Von, which he hasn't seen.
Yeah, so we start talking about, that entire awkwardness of Mark Zuckerberg with Theo, and we talked for a while about that, which is basically you recommending to me to watch that because it's kind of funny. And then the next day, so get to the airport. It's not an important part of the story. The other kid with his tablet, whatever. We finally sit down in I would say like a good spot. Like, we're just chilling. We have like our coffee. It seemed to be okay. I'm not shitting you. And I'm so mad that we don't have a picture. We really should have.
Yeah.
Identical to Mark Zuckerberg. exactly same. He looks a bit old. It would be like an older version of Mark Zuckerberg.
It would be his older brother.
Exactly. There you go. But not only does he looks the same, but Mark Zuckerberg speaks in a certain way. And he had the same voice, same expression, and dare I say, same way of speaking even.
Yeah.
Exactly the same. And I'm like, and the whole time.
He's got the look.
He looks the same.
The hair,
clothing.
Everything.
The same. Like, which is it's blowing our mind. And the whole time, I'm not kidding. While you wait in an airport, it's like 2-3 hours of just waiting. I'm not kidding. Mm-hmm. The entire time is little kids who's
I'm bad with ages. I'm gonna say like what, 5, 6.
I would say 5. Yeah, 4, 5, 8, maybe even. He looks really young. And he's walking around and running everywhere in the airport. And we're going to call him Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg is just following him, but not just following him. He goes in stores, around people, in the rows and everything. And he just follows without saying anything for hours. Unless I'm mistaken, he didn't say once anything. He just followed.
No, just following the kid who's like kind of running around, and he's like fast walking, but not saying anything. Not really. He's just to be beside him, but not.
Yeah. And I even saw like crossing, because it's kind of tight when everybody's sitting in the rows, like as we're waiting, he would even follow awkwardly the kid, like, and just like, but keep following him the entire time.
We look at each other like, look, he looks exactly like Zuck. That's fucking hilarious. Yeah. We just talked about this yesterday night.
Exactly.
Yada, yada.
And then the kid thing, and that's pretty much it. I mean, like, we're waiting for the plane. We finally board the plane, which for once it was fine, but you cannot make that stuff up. As we're walking in the plane, we walk. And I see Zuckerberg, and I'm thinking to myself, no way that we're right next to him. And as I'm thinking that, I just hear you laughing. Before saying anything, you just laughed. And I'm like, okay, and I think you said like, no way. and I'm like, come on. So we're right. Like Zuckerberg is in the seat right next. And I'm like,
well, right in front of us.
Right in front of us. Sorry. And I'm kind of scared because I saw his parenting, and I'm like, we're on a plane, right? So you're stuck with people on the plane. And I was just, let's hope. Right. Let's hope it's okay. So during the ride, it wasn't that bad. Dom was sleeping for most of it. And he just kept, I think they stood up 50 different times. And every time they would stand up, the kid, as they're walking, would like touch me like that. But it's okay, but kind of annoying. Like just kind of grabbing my, I don't know why. I don't know if he was doing that to everybody. But every time I was like, you know, they had 2 kids. I think it was the one obviously that we're right next to. Couldn't have the other kids who's not doing that shit. But for the most part, it's kind of okay. I didn't tell you that, but like Zuckerberg stood up even without the kids, like, I don't know how many times. I don't know why. He would like stand up and talk to his wife, but like as he's staying, for no reason, he could have been just sitting down. He would be in the lane doing nothing and talking.
As the plane is flying, for context.
As the plane is flying. So I was just like, okay. It wasn't bothering me. It was just weird. I was like, okay. And I think I'm going to say that because like it's been other things happened that was funny, but it's leading to this. Dom is sleeping for a while. And I'm starting to get sleepy. I'm watching videos and I'm like, the second I open a game I wanted to play, I had some Netica on my phone and I'm like, I'm going to play that. I start just after like 2 minutes. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be able to sleep. So we have like a tablet, like a little shelf.
A little table thing that folds out. Yeah.
Yeah. So put the table and like I put myself like this, and it takes me a while, like a few minutes, but I'm really comfortable, like really comfortable. I put on my phone like really comforting music. It's called the Weepies. It's like this small indie band. And it starts playing, brings me back, and I feel great. Like, took me like 20 seconds, and I'm starting to fall asleep, and I fall asleep. I was asleep. And I cannot make that shit up. The little kid, the kid of Zuckerberg, he like hit me. Like, he took his hands, and as I'm sleeping, he just went like this, like he literally slapped and then just grabbed a little bit of my hair
from in between the seats of where
from
he
in
is,
between the
because
seats.
he's in front of us. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, this is not happening. Like, I stood up, like, kind of confused, because like I was falling asleep, and I look at him, and he's just like this, with his hands still like that, and he just looks at me, and I'm thinking in my mind, like, there's no way Zuckerberg saw him, but I'm sure he did, with perspective, because he didn't do shit, and the rest of the trip he was like a mess. So, basically his kid did that, and he didn't even say like, hey, like nothing. Just he let his kid, complete stranger, in his, and for context, a dude that you don't know with face tattoos, just for context. By the way, just for context. Thank God it was me, right? But I mean, and I was very patient. I could have, I could have snapped. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I really could have, because it was a big day. I mean, we're traveling all day, like the whole weekend. Yeah, Mazda. I mean, I thought about it, because like, honestly, there was this part of me, I would have just said like, my first sentence was, for the love of God, take care of your fucking kid. That was my sentence. And I'm never saying stuff like, I'm really kind with people. That was the only sentence I had in mind. And I would have like stood and looked at Zuckerberg and said that, like, take care of your fucking kids. Like, I cannot take that shit anymore. I would have slapped the shit out of Zuck. I love that we call him that. It looks like we're literally talking about Zuckerberg. That's really good. I don't even know if he has kids, by the way, but whatever. So that happened, and I understood why it would happen, because even towards the end, the kid was like stood up on his seat and just was shaking it, and like, I didn't see those parents doing anything for 5 hours.
To confirm what you were saying, they had their eyes on that kid the entire time. There was not a moment where they were not looking at the kid. They just willingly chose to let him do everything he was doing. The toy that he had, that he was playing with from beginning to the end, was this sort of like flappy plastic snake thing that he would shake like this the entire plane ride. And if he wasn't doing this, he was slapping it on the side of the plane.
As Dom finally was sleeping, by the way, like, he's like, I swear, he's like, oh, I'm gonna sleep a little bit. Starts maybe 10 minutes after that, the kids just starts like, I was just like, are you fucking, like, seriously, like, you know, all, and as Dom is saying, like, nothing. I didn't see one, like, even close to like discipline, like nothing.
It wasn't even an attempt at saying anything at all. It wasn't
even at the end, because with our luck, by the way, we had to wait in the plane because it was raining here, and another plane arrived at the same time, and we had to still wait. It wasn't too bad, but as we're waiting, you know, people are standing up, and the kid wouldn't stand up. So the dad, I swear, that's the dad's reaction. He's like, come on. And the kid is like, you know, a little kid tantrum, like, just, no. And he's like, come on the same tone. I mean, he's not a goat, but he's in my memory. He sounded like a goat, clearly. So the goat won't stand up, and then he just kept doing that, and I swear, then he left.
the dad.
He just starts walking. The dad just starts walking and leaves his kid in the seat. I'm like,
a random passenger that was behind them was trying then to get the kid out of the seat because the dad abandoned him in the seat.
Those are the worst parents I've ever seen in my life. Like,
turns out he wasn't leaving his seat because he was still strapped in to his seatbelt and he didn't know how to take it off.
Like, I'm not kidding. Like, there's a part of me, because, like, and you cannot make that shit up. Finally, they leave. Me and Dom, we're not the kind of people who just go. We waited for the entire plane to just, like, leave. And then when it's chill, we take our things and we leave. They were right as you leave the, how do you call that? Like, as we walked out of the plane to go in the other section just for the airport, the corridor, whatever it's called, they are right there. Both kids crying and complaining, and they're trying to build a stroller, I think. So all of that.
A stroller is an understatement. The box for this thing that they had was like...
It was a building.
Like 1.5 meters tall and like almost 2 feet wide with big ass fucking all-terrain wheels that they were trying. It was like a wheelbarrow barrel type situation that they had going on at the airport.
Crying.
Anyways,
they're crying as we're getting out. I swear, if I could go back in time, I think I would have said super politely, "Excuse me, how are you? Yeah, you're the worst parents I've ever seen in my life." And I would have left. Like, it's because at this point, I feel bad, like, not kidding, not to go into this. I feel bad terribly bad for those kids. Because, like, they're going to be, and sorry for my words, they're going to be assholes. Like, it's going to be horrible. Like, if you're raised that way, it's going to be horrible.
Those kids are going to be fucked up for sure. But
because people need to,
not our problem anymore.
Not our problem. But seeing that is those moments where you're so glad that your parents were saying no to you. But so glad.
Before the final, because believe it or not,
is there anything else?
The trouble didn't end there. We did have a final thing, but there is another thing that happened on the plane that involves you and trying to get food.
Okay, so another occurrence of someone being mean to me for zero reason. Zero. Not like I've asked something and then it was kind of stupid. No reason to be very, how do you call that? Like, arrogant and mean to me for no reason. And she looked so nice. That's the worst part. Like, she looked like the nicest person. So earlier tonight, I told you guys that every single time on a plane or anywhere, I'm going to pick the food that they have a healthy option that nobody's ever going to take. And that's the one I want. So I wanted the little brie cheese and little couple of, and I'm like, it's going to be so cool. I want to eat that. And then they have a couple of different trays, and one of them is for beverage and the other one is like the food tray. So I'm looking, and as they're crossing next to my seat, I look at her, and I'm like, oh, this is the beverage tray. And before I could say anything else to explain why, she looks at me and she's like, "Congratulations, yeah, those are beverage." And I'm like, what? Like, and I didn't even do it justice because her tone was like, "Congratulations, those are beverage." That was the tone. And I'm like, it was the same reaction as when I was trying to take the picture. I was like, but plane. Like it's supposed to be over. It's done. Like, why is this still happening? And then she felt really bad though, because she says that, and I'm like, oh yeah, I understood they were beverage. I just wanted to eat that. She looks at my screen, because you can pull up the food on the screen, and she's like, oh, it's because you wanted to eat some. I'm like, yes, that's why I made the observation. She felt so, she's like, I'm gonna go and pick it up in the, I was like, thank you. And then she was nice. But yeah, exactly, Maz. That was no other way but plane. That was my only, but plane. That was my but plane. Like,
there was,
that was my,
while they had all the trays that were moving back and forth the aisle to serve food, you obviously had people that were trying to get to the bathroom at the same time. So, but the trays take up like the entire width of the hall. So it's like any sane person would kind of look at down the aisle, notice that there's probably not a way to get to the bathroom right now, wait 5 minutes and then go. But obviously that's not what people do. So there's this one dude in particular that I would have fight with him, just for context. I would have fight that person over this. And I don't know if I look like a bad person. I would have punched that person just for that, what he's about to say. He stood behind the tray probably for 10 minutes and kept kind of trying to look over, trying to see if there was a way to pass, but like clearly there's not. Like it's a very it's not like the there aren't alternate routes. There is one fucking aisle, and the tray takes up the entire aisle. It is as wide as the aisle. It's made to maximize the space. And then and he's making comments. There's a lady behind him. He keeps turning back to the lady to do the slide comments. Yeah, go for it.
He's this close to the tray, by the way. Just for context, I think it's important. He couldn't be more close to the people with the tray. Like, it's like awkward. How close. I remember that. How close he is like to the. I would have snapped working there. I would have been like, what are you like?
Go back just for the context. Like, come back in 5. Like, yeah.
Like, it was really.
But you saw it more than I did. He ended up basically jumping the tray, right?
He ended up in the ear, because he's like so close. He's like, are there any way I could pass? I've been waiting the whole time. Like, he's complaining that he's basically following them, and the initial reaction is, well, not like not really. And he's like, there gotta be a way. Like, he's inside. So they finished. They ended up like kind of pushing on, like telling the person in the seat, be careful, we're gonna. Like, all of that shit for that person. And by the way, 2 meters from the battle, he could have waited like 20 seconds and it was over, by the way. Like, it was about to be done. And they have to like
tilt the thing into the seats on one side, so he can kind of try to scuttle through.
Like, she's holding everything, which, to be fair, is a karma for being mean to me. And they're like, all of this for someone who couldn't wait, like, maybe top the entire thing. 7 minutes, like 7 minutes, maybe. I didn't count. Sure, it takes a while to take the order. It wasn't that bad. Like, it really wasn't that bad. Like, the whole time,
garbage. You got garbage juice on you too.
Like, okay, so they're taking people's trash, right? At this point, I have finished my one piece of brie with like a couple of things. I have a bit of garbage, so when I'm like, oh, there's this. He has gloves, and I don't know why. Instead of just picking up the garbage, he took like my end as he's grabbing, and I can feel all the garbage juice, like, and before someone is like, oh, it could have been juice. No, I smelled like garbage juice, like horrible. Like, I was just like, like, why? You know, like, why doing this to me? Like, I was holding it perfectly fine. It was easy to just pick it up. Took my, and I'm Dom is sleeping. Send him a text, and I'm like, add that to the list. Like, you know, garbage juice on my end as, freshly squeezed. Exactly. That's
so to kind of cap it all off. I guess we like Yan said earlier. It was raining at this point. There was another plane at the same time. They had us waiting in the plane an extra 45 minutes, though. It wasn't nothing. We stayed.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
A 45 full extra minutes on the plane before being able to get off. Customs and all that was fine. And then the last
obviously
thing,
they picked me, obviously,
of course, the guy with
check.
the face tats. They didn't check me, they checked Yan, but all that was super quick still nonetheless. It wasn't all that bad. Indications at the Montreal airport, I gotta say, way more clear than LAX, so actually easy to find.
Not even comparable. Not even comparable.
And then we leave, and as we're entering the parking for where I parked my car at the airport, there's this massive sign. Like it's like a sign. It's a painting on a thing that takes up an entire wall.
The whole wall, yeah.
The entire wall, and it says, for the parking, just prepay your tickets. Just prepay your tickets by scanning the barcode on the ticket stub that you have, and then you can prepay, and as long as you leave within 15 minutes, you're good to go. So I'm like, okay, fine. So get to the car, start looking for my stub, cannot find it.
Search the car,
search the car, search all my luggage, search the clothing that I wore throughout the entire trip for a pretty long while. And at this point, I mean, dude, we are out of the airport. Like, in my mind, I'm like, there is no way we can still be cursed right now. This is simply impossible. Yet here we are. We probably searched for 10, 15 minutes. And I'm pretty I'm pretty defeated at this point. I'm like, look, we're going to show up to the gate. I have proof of like when our plane like tickets were. So that kind of gives an idea. And if not, the worst case is I got to pay for a full week of fucking parking, which would have been crazy expensive for no reason. It was already $45 a day to begin with. But I was like, look, at this point, it is what it is, whatever.
Oh, and we had no energy left.
At that point, completely defeated by the entire trip. And then it snaps. I don't know what made it snap for me, but then I remembered, oh, we actually don't have a stub. I prepaid for my parking on an app ahead of time. But this big ass fucking sign that we were looking at before never alluded to anything else. And I can only imagine, like, we were only gone for 4 days, and I had already kind of forgot. I was so fucking burnt out from the trip that I kind of had that lapse of judgment where I completely forgot we had prepaid for the parking and shit. I can't imagine leaving your car there for like a month and then coming back and being like, I don't know where I put my ticket stub. Shit like this. All that to say, I did have it in my email. I was able to pull it out, and then, and then we were able to get on our way, drove back home. Yan had an extra hour and a half from my place to get back to his place as well.
I couldn't believe it. Just for context, it's a 5-hour
flight.
Flight.
5-hour flight, 45 minutes.
We left the Airbnb like the whole day. I mean, we left the Airbnb. There's already road with traffic. We got to the airport. There's 3 hours waiting time. We go in the plane. They make us wait 45 minutes afterwards. There's the whole parking thing. It's 20 something minutes to go to Dom's place, and then I have an hour and a half to drive.
Yeah,
alone. So I was just like, the entire drive, though I was looking forward to it because I watched the Jonah episode on the downbeat, which is, did you watch it?
No, not yet. I have to though.
You're gonna like it. It's cool. They really go back in time with Jonah. It's really cool. So shout out Downbeat. I think that's the name. Podcast.
Downbeat Podcast. Yes,
really
sir. Craig
cool.
Reynolds. Doug Go.
Really cool dude. Amazing. Super real. See, if you didn't watch that podcast like ever, it's really good. So I did and I was terrified because with the whole trip, I was like, I just want to like, please, on the road, it has to be like
no more problems.
Yeah.
Look, maybe the curse was with me, right? So
maybe
you weren't in my presence anymore, so all was gonna be good.
I don't know. People were mean to me specifically, so it's hard to.
But again, because of my presence.
Maybe. Yeah, because people are not mean to me over here, but who knows? But. I mean, we got to your place and we started just telling a bit of stories here and there to Venice, to your wife. And just there, she was like, what? And it wasn't even like a quarter of everything. And she was like, what happened? Like, why? It was funny how she laughed about us being so stoked about Starbucks. Like just being like, oh, Starbucks was
Starbucks
great.
was insane, dude.
Wow. Like, and I'm not kidding. I think it's one of the highlights.
Strawberry, acai, lemonade thing. Man.
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, my man.
I'm kind of scared now that they don't have this here, right? Like now I'm scared.
No, I'm pretty sure they do because I had it before, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. If not, they're going to make it. I'm going to be like, listen, I had a very difficult trip. You're going to make it. This is my only
good memory. Make this for us, please.
Your worst case, you're going to make it limited and then you're going to put some strawberries in it and you're going to pretend that it's this. Yeah. But it was really good. I mean, when you're thirsty and you like that's so freaking good. But that trip, it's weird for me because like when I came back, first thing I'm going to have dinner with my mom sometimes this week. And obviously the first thing is she's like, how was the trip? And my answer was just like, I have to tell you in person because I'm like, it's as terrible as it is amazing. I don't know how to explain it. It's great, like great memories, but everything that could go wrong with technicality and transports and stuff went wrong. Like at this point,
I've been saying it's by far, and I mean by far, no contest, the absolute worst trip I have ever been on, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
There we go. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
If you made it to the end of this episode, thank you for watching. And hey, while you're here, hit that subscribe or follow button and a review. If you're watching or listening on a podcast platform, it would mean the world and it helps out more than you know. A big thank you as well to all of our supporters over on Patreon and on Twitch. New episodes every week, links to our Patreon, Discord, and socials in the description. We'll see you soon. We're out.